Yeah.
but I respect it.
I mean, it's like I read a book that says you have to uplift people.
Right.
And frankly,
But you first.
When I think about like the team here, it's like we are just the best ones
Yeah.
here, that no one else really matters as much as us.
We put on the oxygen mask for us first.
I mean,
the rest are here.
If you like think about it, everyone here is just full of shit.
I love Terry even likes bells.
She doesn't.
She doesn't.
She doesn't like bells.
Doesn't like bells.
And she's arguably the worst person in real
I mean,
life.
I think so.
Like,
and Michael doesn't like Star Wars.
Michael he just reads Wikipedia
It's
before
embarrassing.
he shows up.
He told me he was a bigger Star Trek
Every
fan.
single time.
He said Trek was better than Star
Trek.
Wars. That's why I'm like, bro, because there's no new Trek shows on except for like the animated one. He hates animation.
Roxy's not even Jewish.
Oh my god,
she's not even
I heard
Jewish.
she's from New Hampshire, not Boston. A lot of people from New Hampshire are like, oh, I'm from Boston.
Did you know
'cause
Aaron?
It's close.
Aaron he pulled the Robert Downey Jr. in Tropic Thunder.
Whiteface?
He is not. What? No, he's black. He's not black.
And John.
And John,
not actually sensitive.
he's abusive.
He slaps people
John
around.
is the most
He
abusive
comes around
one
like
of
he's
us
like
all.
a gentle giant of love.
I can't stand it.
It's weird.
I can't stand
And
it. Like,
Andrew, maybe
And
the biggest criminal of all, actually doesn't actually get references. Like he doesn't actually know anything. He has a little note card.
He's
He
a little
just-
note card.
he pulls-
Pops out of his crotch.
Yeah, and he's just like, oh, and then it's his dick though. And you're like, oh, now I've seen that.
I just think that people they put up a facade here.
Yep.
And we have to play into the facade, and the people can just never know. Oh.
Do the people
shit,
know?
We're live already?
We were supposed to go live 12:30. We told them.
We did it again, Coy. We said 12:30?
We wouldn't. I thought you pressed live 12:30. I thought it was like an auto 12:30. So
It would just take you forever to go live that I didn't think it would go. Oh, like, shit.
Well, I'm gonna have to edit that out. This is exclusive to the lives. Otherwise, they'll know the truth.
All right.
Well,
hey, guys.
hey, it's Saturday.
We were just doing satire.
None of that's true.
Roxy's great.
And from Boston.
And Andrew's awesome.
John's sensitive.
John's too sensitive.
Andrew knows references.
Anywho, ladies and gentlemen, you guys voted that we should do this live stream. Now listen, y'all. Listen. Coy has a hard out. At the same time, we don't end a stream unless we get through every super and Streamlab.
It's conflicting.
It's
These are
conflicting.
conflicting reports.
But he has a heart out. He's dying on the inside. He
He
sent
is.
me this text. I even said, "Do you want to cancel?" And he said, "Nah." And I was like, "All right, that's on you, man."
I'm a team player, and we said I'd be
said
somewhere.
you'd
I'm
be
gonna
here.
be here. That's for you, Reject Nation.
But we got so much to discuss at the top, and then you know how we do. We're going to make it an open Q&A, and a big part of our open Q&A is going to be about the X-Men 97 series, so there's going to be a lot of spoilers here, but there's some other stories that I want us to get through before we get just to warm up a little
Smells
bit,
like rain.
because there's other things that I want to talk about. You know, we got the Spider-Man Noir live action series. We have Daredevil Born Again updates. We've got Supergirl's announced. Cool. I know Coy's really
July
excited about
26,
that.
2026. I am elated.
We got Agatha.
Book is incredible. That book is so good.
We got stuff to discuss. So leave a like on this stream. Make sure to leave a comment. And if you're watching this on playback, yeah, Coy and I are both exceptionally out of it today.
Yeah,
It's gonna-
except us. We also were texting that like we're both one last show in us. We're like really close to dying.
I had one day where Coy's dying. Like he's got a lot of the head
I
stuff.
ruptured eardrum.
And there was one day this week where I was up for 35 hours, and then I still have not recovered from that. I have not had a sleep-in day yet.
To give you guys the chronology that you don't care about, when I got COVID 5-6 weeks ago, it turned into, like last time, an ear infection, but the ear infection spread throughout my sinuses and then got into my eyes. So I ruptured an eardrum. My nose, they said, looks broken because it's so bruised and mutilated, and my throat is swollen shut with mucus. So I'm a mess. But every show I've done since then, I'm extra proud of because I've done it half alive.
Such a bitch, Coy. Such a
Ruptured
bitch.
an eardrum.
Alrighty.
Let's do
well,
it, gang.
Okay. Listen, for every super chat or Streamlab that comes in, Coy and I will tell you a fun fact
People
about
liked it.
ourselves. But we got to make it efficient since you got a heart out.
That's true.
So I'm typing in on Google, best getting to know you questions.
Oh, cute. We'll have a little parameter.
And that way, we just got to avoid long
Long
stories.
ones, we'll just look and we'll be, I like it. Efficient with all of our pros.
efficiency. And thank you, Dakota Jones, for kicking off our streams. All right, so Coy, the first order of business. Oh my God, I pulled up all these photos.
So many
and
clips.
there was the one photo I didn't pull up. Was
And that's the one we
I didn't
want.
pull up Spider-Man
Which
Noir.
is like, we need to talk about our guy.
Hold on
I
a
think that's
second.
really exciting news.
Yeah, man. Oh, I can't change the photo. Live stream's broken.
Well, that's it. We're done. We tried.
This live stream's off to a great start.
You know, I feel
I
the
feel-
efficiency. I feel it
Did I
actually
really
isn't
not
there.
grab
How
it?
did you put Noir in the graphic and not have a
Did
photo?
I really not grab
There we just
Spider-Man
have
anymore?
one of Nick Cage. He's ready. Wow.
Okay, I
There
got
it
this.
is.
I got this,
There's
guys.
them boys.
I got everyone. Be quiet.
Yeah.
I got
Awkward
this.
silence is how you do a
I
stream.
got this, everyone.
There it goes. Click and drag. There. Up. Now we're in.
Yeah. Okay. Now we're ready to live.
yeah.
I bet on the playback, the watch time here is phenomenal.
Immaculate. People are so excited to hear us ramble.
All right, here we go.
Yeah.
Spider-Man Noir. Okay, so Spider-Man Noir. This is straight to series Amazon order, and we're gonna have Nicolas Cage starring in the live-action version of Spider-Man Noir. It's gonna take place in the 1930s. Gonna be a detective show, and out of all the spin-offs that have been announced, I am probably the most excited for this one.
Yeah.
I feel like it fits perfectly. I see no reason why people wouldn't be excited for it. I just hope that they embrace a little bit of the satire that can come with it, you know, the humor that can come with it.
Yeah, don't make it too self-serious. The
don't-
guy is meant to be like a commentary.
Yeah, don't make it The Spirit, you know, the Frank Miller movie.
Yeah, where it was just, I'm from the 20s and no one's laughing with or at me.
It's right, Amanda. It's going to be a live-action version of Spider-Man Noir, which
He's
is...
playing actually the character he played in voice. That's so exciting.
Coy, elaborate a little more. if you
Okay,
want.
so Spider-Man Noir is a character who is Peter Parker set in a timeline of like the noir cinema. And like Nick Cage played him as a big fan of Cary Grant and a lot of the classic cinema icons that he grew up with. So as a Spider-Man fan himself and as a fan of this era in cinema, Nick Cage like really loves this character. One of the things I'm most excited about, and I don't think anyone is really talking about, and I'll lift my hat so you understand how serious I am about this. No
Whoa.
one is talking about the fact that Chris and Phil, Lord and Miller, have been given the reins to all of Spider-Man TV. Guys, they're running Spider-Man now, like we wanted. Sony gave
You got to stay in the front.
Lord and
Coy.
Miller the
You
keys to
gotta-
the
you gotta-
castle.
your head's
They
getting cut off,
gave
Coy.
us the keys, and that's what we
Look at
wanted.
his eyes. They're so fucking red.
I'm in so much agony, Greg. I'm dying. All of me hurts. It's not good
This
here.
is so funny.
It's not good.
You know you're close with someone when you just laugh at how miserable
just- I'm-
you look.
I'm, like,
You're
so
not even-
puffy
you're
and
not
I'm-
even- I'm not even like
Dude,
concerned
I'm
for
like,
you.
this is all
Look at
mucus.
his Coy's just trying to. He's trying to do his.
I'm trying to
best
help.
to do his
I'm
live
doing
stream,
my best.
and he can't do it.
Chris and Phil are doing Spider-Man like
So
we've always
funny.
dreamed of, and it's gonna be great. And I'm so excited.
You are the last person who should be on a live stream right now. You're just here.
I'm trying my best.
So we could have canceled.
And I'm doing. We said to the people we'd be here, and we're here.
Holy shit! How do you reset this? Frank? I can't.
Oh,
handle it.
man.
Guys, super chat for Coy.
I'm just trying to make sure the people know that I care about them. I showed up when I should be in
This
bed.
is gonna be the most disorganized live stream. Guys, I'm crying.
It's bad here. It's bad. It's bad in these streets.
Because before Coy, all week Coy's looked great, and he's been just sharp as hell.
Dude, I'm so proud of the interviews
then-
I did while I've been dying. And then I got my diagnosis like, oh no, I'm
And
dead.
then he got his diagnosis of all these terrible things yesterday that he's had all week.
I've had a week,
He's-
but I've been able to ignore them because I didn't know them for sure. As soon as I knew it was real, I started dying.
He just once he was aware of it, he just started
Like
fucking falling
you know that it's like a manifestation where you're like, I'll make it true. Like now it's actually
Oh,
in my
God.
body. Like I'm now sick.
I have actual tears.
It
in
is,
my
this is what
eyes.
happened. It's bad.
It just fucking fell apart.
I'm so broken, Greg, and I've been broken, but now I feel it.
You showed up. I was like, I don't think you should be here, man.
And here I am. That's why I got a heart out because I had to get back to the doctor.
Normally, this craziness comes in a way later. I can't help it.
This live stream is either going to have 7
we are
views
so
or
not,
70,000
so
views.
not ready.
This live stream is either going to be the best thing we've ever done,
Holy fuck.
or this is the end of live
Let's just
streams.
go to the next goddamn story.
So Chris Lord and Phil Miller, the creators of Spider-Verse, the guys who did 21 Jump Street, the guys that are responsible for, in my opinion, some of the best meta-modernism of all time, are wielding the keys to the Sony
Yeah, that's
Spider-Man
all
kingdom.
true.
very important to note that they're the guys that get Spider-Man. They love Spider-Man. I've talked to these guys a lot about Spider-Man. I hosted the Oscar panel for Across the Spider-Verse because they know how much I love Spider-Man, and I love that they want everyone from the moderator to everyone working on the film to love the character. So I love that Nick Cage is getting a chance to show that Spidey love through them. I think it's fantastic. That's what I'd say if I was alive.
Welcome, Sterling. This is a perfect example of what the streams are like.
If you've ever wanted to know.
Guys, we got some Daredevil Born Again updates. I'm not going to be able to make it through today.
We got this, Greg.
We got Daredevil Born Again. Holy crap. What is he's coughing? Shouldn't be here.
It's fine. Everything's fine.
I know how annoying I am right now.
The audience is here for Manic Greg and Broken Coy.
Okay, guys.
It's like Big and Rob.
All right, thank you. I know we got some super chats that came in. We're going to get to all them, I promise.
Everyone.
Also, guys, if you have some specific X-Men 97 questions, please feel free to throw them in, especially in the supers, because you guys drive that a lot and the streams. Guys, we got Daredevil Born Again updates.
Yes.
I'm just not going to look at Coy. We got Daredevil Born Again updates. Coy, what do you think of this new logo, man?
I love it. I love that I consider Hell's Kitchen in New York a part of Daredevil's identity. I love that the logo reflects that the city is a part of him. It's very visually stimulating. Like, it makes you think, it makes you feel, it makes you connect. I love how vibrant the red is. I really think it's going to be interesting to see this almost season 4 of a show under the Marvel banner, to see it outside of the Netflix world and onto Disney Plus.
Yes.
I really think that this is probably the biggest example of the original idea sounded more and more like Spin City, like a lawyer comedy show. We heard it was 22 episodes, 30 minutes. Daredevil didn't show up for the first 6 episodes. All those rumors, if they were true,
You just referenced Spin City.
Yeah.
No one.
Michael J. Fox. all of our 45-year-olds, all of our 45-year-olds in the chat, thumbs up for Spin City. Michael J. Fox is in here. A lot of thumbs.
But then he was replaced by. When Michael J. Fox had to leave the show,
that?
Charlie Sheen.
You're right.
Yeah.
Before he had the tiger blood in him.
Yeah.
Man.
I saw Spin City.
Yes, thank you.
Funny show.
But isn't that like what Daredevil sounded like it was kind of going to be?
Yeah.
Like a lawyer comedy show?
Like She-Hulk?
Yeah, I think that's why he first appeared in that vein in She-Hulk.
My favorite part about Daredevil Born Again is they make this whole ordeal about him getting a new suit in She-Hulk. There's literally a plot line dedicated to it that allows Daredevil to make an appearance, and make an appearance in She-Hulk.
Yeah.
And they just fucking canned it.
And now he's in his old suit because it's like a season 4. But I think that's what the show was going to be, and I think that was an example of the bad side of the multiverse, where I think that there was a lot of suits that said, oh, it's a multiverse, we can use the same actor, but let's do it our way. Oh, we can do it totally different. It felt like they wanted that rapid expansion that I think streaming's problem is. Streaming started in the tech boom Silicon Valley mindset, where it's like infinite growth, new subscribers. That's impossible. There isn't infinite growth. Just like Uber and Lyft, you'll notice, are a lot more expensive the last 5 years because all their government subsidies and all their tech bro subsidies went away, and now they have to charge as much as taxis and cabs or more because they're making up for those subsidies that can't exist in infinite growth. The bottom of the market and all these stocks fell out, and now they're actually having to. Anyway, it's a longer conversation about finance and tech. But that is what streaming was trying to do, was this infinite expansion idea.
What the fuck are we talking about
and
right
so,
now? What are we talking about?
From there, you have to listen to the fans and make the thing that the shows that the fans want, which is Daredevil season 4. I think they understood. I knew what I was saying.
I guess yeah.
What are you excited about?
I'm excited. Just
excited for Daredevil? Daredevil's going to be great.
This is not content.
You guys might be the only ones to ever see this. You guys this might go unlisted. This might be just for
we
you.
are not stoned, honestly.
Yeah, I wish.
He's just not
I'm
feeling
so
well.
unwell.
And I'm just laughing my ass off at him. I am just the worst friend right now.
Okay, someone in the chat, let me know if my rapid expansion
God.
and infinite growth parallel made sense. I think that's what they thought they could do with the quantum theory of what multiversal content would have been.
Yes. Well, guys, listen. I'm going. Coy, I don't want you to comment on this because you might interview them one day.
Okay.
I'll do it. Charlie Cox, what has happened to this man? Have you guys noticed? He looks like, since he wrapped filming, he has aged past Vincent D'Onofrio. You do remember him with the longer, fluffy hair? Something about him, he just looks so much older now. and I can't quite understand what happened to him in this time. It's like when someone becomes president. You know, they become president,
And immediately
then,
stress
then
turns
like
them.
4 years later, like, you aged like 20 years. What is going on right now? And it seems like before shooting Daredevil Born Again to after shooting Daredevil Born Again, the guy has if you guys got to watch it in motion, especially, you're like, something's up with Charlie Cox. I'm starting to get concerned for him. You know, when people put out those things about celebrities, that's my commentary for Daredevil
He's
Born
on
Again.
Daredevil Born Again.
I'm
Charlie
concerned
Cox,
for you, Charlie Cox.
time has passed.
You're my favorite Marvel superhero, and I'm concerned for you. Let's see if this photo does it. Let me just look at this. Look at that.
That's a more accurate, like, it's interesting.
He's aged a lot. I don't know what's happening
Whereas
here.
Vincent D'Onofrio has, like, got that Samuel L. Jackson thing where I think of him as permanently 47.
When Vincent D'Onofrio looks at people, he's so scary.
Dude, he is the most intimidating interview. It was so hard because I was sitting next
That's
to...
right. You have interviewed
Yeah,
that
I
guy.
have.
Yeah.
Looking past Charlie Cox at D'Onofrio made it even more Daredevil and Kingpin, so his glares were, like, traumatizing. Yeah, I talked about Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles with them, and I got the headcanon of how the ooze caused, Daredevil and the Turtles. They were delightful.
I just don't understand. What happened to Charlie Cox?
Yeah. Time.
Time is something bad's happened. Something bad. Maybe he's always had like a hair transplant thing. We just didn't know. A lot of people actually do that in their
Yep.
in their 30s.
Yeah, it
and stuff,
happens
and
early.
they don't let us know. So maybe it's just that. Yeah,
Maybe it's just that.
it might just be the haircut.
Yeah. 41 happens hard. Comes at you fast.
But he just suddenly looked 41.
Yeah, I think that he looked like 25 for
he
a
looked
while.
25 for a very
And
long
now
time.
it's like,
and
that's
now,
real.
Now he just caught up with him.
Yeah.
It's the
I feel like
hairline.
it's happening to me
Yeah.
in real time on this stream.
That's my commentary for this Daredevil Born Again
Yep,
thing.
this is what the people
Oh,
want.
but they did have some trailer information that I wanted to kind of go through a little bit here,
Please.
if that's cool. And then we'll get to the X-Men stuff. And I promise we will get to all the live streams, these super chats. We're just getting through all this. Let me change this. This is such a great day for me.
We're doing the work.
I've never been happier.
This is
here.
the most professional thing we've ever done.
Let's
If you guys thought my X-Men ranking was professional, look at what we're doing here with this
feels
giant
like
D.
this feels like when I'm like struggling to just get through a midnight day. And yeah. Anyway, let's go through the trailer information. Are you ready, Coy?
Ready.
Okay. Have you ready of this?
I've not. Oh, no, the thing you sent, yes, but I would like to hear it.
I mean, I don't know how IGN was basically bringing it down that you hear the infamous Charlie Cox is in the back in the infamous red Daredevil suit, and while his voice plays in the background saying the entire system is against you. It's often David versus Goliath. This is presumably referring to the biblical story.
Yes, it is, writer. Thanks.
Yes.
Not my cousin David and
yeah. What other David and Goliath reference would there be? Where the smaller opponent faces a much stronger adversary who wins against all odds. Later, there is a brief action sequence where an opponent asks Murdoch, "What kind of lawyer are you?" To which he replies, he picks up like broken, recognizable red glasses and says, "A really good one." But you also get images of Vincent D'Onofrio, Deborah Wolf, Eldon Henson, and apparently the original plan for this was to be nothing connected to like the Netflix series.
Yeah.
And then Charlie Cox said that when they revamped it, they made it hyper connected.
yeah.
to the
Originally,
Netflix
they
series.
recast
Yeah.
Vanessa Fisk. Like they had a different woman playing Vanessa.
Did they actually film her scenes and then they recast her back? Oh,
They shot like half that
that's
show.
like horrible.
Can
for
you imagine
everyone.
thinking
That's like
you
the
were cast
Conan
in a-
O'Brien, Jay Leno
Yeah.
situation.
Imagine thinking you were cast a Marvel show and your career was about to blow up.
Yeah,
Nope. Yeah.
that's wild.
So yeah, they shot like half the show and then
Or
they
a
came
woman.
in. Yeah. So yeah, this is the new old connected show. It is gonna, I believe, have the Bullseye arc that we were, being promised. I do
Yeah.
believe like there's gonna be the same Punisher and all those things. So it gives us hope for the connectivity going forward.
All right, that's good to hear. That's good to hear. What do you guys think about Daredevil Born Again? Leave your thoughts down below. And here we go, guys. Okay, Agatha all along and Ironheart. Coy, do you give a shit about Agatha all along?
I do only because of Catherine Hahn. I think she brought a lot of charisma to the role. I think that I'm a kid from Boston and a character from Salem always made me happy. Like they do a lot in Salem and in comics, so I was always like, "Ooh, Salem." Aubrey Plaza, I think, is a delight. So it's more about the cast than the actual property for me. And I dig the spooky season. Like I'd love to have a kind of a spooky season show. I watch Hocus Pocus every year, so if we can get something in the Marvel universe that feels like that, and I feel like that's the vibe they're going to go for, I'm all for it. And if that gives us an excuse to bring in more magic and mysticism and maybe Mephisto, hell yeah.
Well, they have Ironheart coming out, and Ironheart is supposed to be about magic versus
Science.
So I feel like there is going to be a natural segue. Now, I'm not that excited for Agatha all along. Initially, I'm not. Something tells me that when the trailer does debut, we're going to be here going, whoop, never mind.
I'm excited.
This actually looks really cool.
Yeah.
I have the impression that that's what it's going to feel like.
I am excited for Ironheart because of the footage. I will be even more excited for Agatha when we have footage.
You saw the Ironheart footage?
Yeah,
When?
23.
Did it look good?
He looks amazing.
It
looks like
actually
street level.
looks amazing.
They didn't show any.
It's been on the shelf for like 2 years.
That's why I'm shocked of all the shows. I just think the kickback from Wakanda Forever, like no one talked about Ironheart, and I think they thought they would. But the footage was fantastic. It's really street level. It's very like modern sensibility. It's a lot of fun. It's plucky. The music choices are great. Anthony Ramos looks fantastic. They show a
Anthony
shot.
Ramos is in
Yeah,
it?
dude.
I did not know that.
It looks great.
Isn't Sacha Baron Cohen in it?
He's rumored to be in Agatha along and Ironheart as
Is he
Mephisto.
really?
Yeah. And Anthony Ramos
What
plays
the hell are they sitting
Anthony
on?
Ramos plays the Hood, who's like this mystical
Oh,
criminal.
shit.
Yeah.
Really?
And they show him.
I have not paid attention.
They show him with the hood
I've
and
had
the guns.
2 years to find this information
He's got
out.
guns
Yeah.
and doing the whole thing. The footage is great.
Really?
Yeah, dude. And it's her in college, so it's got that like young, aggressive, almost like Luke Cage, Wu-Tang vibe. Like it's dope. It's good footage.
What the hell are they waiting on?
I have no idea. I saw it forever ago. I literally saw it 3 years ago at T23.
Oh, God. I don't
So yeah, I'm really excited because of the footage.
I don't know. man.
I've been Team Ironheart as one of my most anticipated shows for years because the
Yeah.
footage was that good.
Gotcha.
Also,
gotcha.
Dominic Thorne is the best. Like Dominic Thorne read all the comics, actually did the research.
See, Shree didn't know either. Hey, Jen. A lot of people didn't know.
Last time I talked to Dominic Thorne, she had just like done a whole breakdown of like Brian Michael Bendis stuff to get the voice for her.
Yeah.
Like she was working on getting the cadence of Bendis' writing. That's dedication.
Well, I put in the thumbnail the future of Marvel. And
Yes.
these are future elements of Marvel.
Yeah.
Right? Because I feel like the thing that has generated the most positive reception as of late, outside of like Loki season 2, has been the animation field.
Mm-hmm.
And there's something I noticed this tinge in my heart that happened because I want to go to the super test. I've got some X-Men 97 stuff coming. Let me just start setting that up because yes, let me just move that around. Uno momento, por favor. They said that the next animated property show that was probably going to come out will be What If season 3, which makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
It's more
Didn't
ready.
they make a trailer for that already?
Yeah, and they already had stuff tied into the season 2. They said that was done. Like that's probably mostly finished.
Oh, is it now?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, part of me went, ooh, but to do that right after X-Men 97?
Yeah, that's what I'm like. Well, good luck.
Like the
The bar is so high. We like season 2 so much more.
We loved What If season 2.
Huge fan, but it's not revelatory.
But
like-
something different happens when you watch X-Men 97 and you see the potential of what If could be because
Yeah.
it's under the Disney Marvel umbrella. Then it can actually this would happen with audiences. I think that's kind of what happened with Marvel in general.
Yeah, I agree.
Is you start upping the quality, you start upping the kind of movies that you do, and then naturally it starts getting compared. So sometimes people will be like, you complain about Phase 4, but what about those movies in Phase 2? Remember how those went? But we've evolved past
We
Phase
are now
2.
deeply not there.
Yeah, exactly. And now I think What If has the potential to be compared to that.
I agree.
And that's kind of my concern for them when I feel like a lot of the future of Marvel really is in the television
Go
field.
Spider-Man 98, go Avengers, go do all the stuff you teased in the finale.
Right? I feel like that's a randomly rare good point that I made.
Yeah, profound. Go in
Yeah.
the right direction, Marvel.
I
Don't
mean-
lean on nostalgia.
Think about it.
Nostalgia is important, but it can be poison.
Because that's why you can't. Now I'm just like doubling down too much.
Yeah, and you're gonna make the point
and
moot.
then I'm gonna
Just make sure no one cares about his point.
Now,
That
now
is
it's like
good.
we get it, Greg.
No, I'm gonna keep hammering.
Know when to end.
Talk about rapid expansion. Talk about infinite growth. Reference Wall Street. You got to make sure the Silicon Valley bros are repped. That's why the people love my rant about Disney Plus. Bring in the masses.
I'm fixing the stream, guys.
Get a Spin City reference in there. Make sure they're really connected to you. Connect to the people.
I always get so concerned about watch time, but not today.
I don't know if we have any hope at all.
Not today.
We are here on a Saturday because that is when we do a live stream. The rest,
We got to change that.
Saturday.
I mean, I like. Is there a day of the week that you guys would like us to do a live stream?
Yeah, it's hard to always know every weekend is taken.
Yeah, it is. There is a bit of.
I'd
a
like to
sadness
take
where
a
you're
trip
like,
sometime.
I'd like to sleep in.
I'd
Sometimes.
like just to not. I mean, I want to go out some Friday night.
We're acting
Again.
like this is your guys' fault.
Yeah,
What is
you
it? Just
did
a
this.
decision
It's
we
just,
made.
yeah, it's just we
It's
said
actually-
Saturday's probably good, and now we're stuck here because of us.
Whoopsie daisy.
Remember Fridays?
I don't think X-Men 97 had as low of a rate. I think by comparison, when you compare it to like the live shows, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But for an animated show, I think it did pretty good for an animated show. And
It's-
for a nostalgia show where you made people feel like maybe I have to rewatch 5 seasons of a television show from the 90s.
Yeah.
You know,
and the
it's
fact that it didn't lean on nostalgia while being set in the 90s is so impressive.
Like, I'll tell you, like, they say some of these shows are bigger, like Echo, whatever, but what's kind of crazy is the fervor behind X-Men 97 is certainly way, way higher. And
Yeah.
it shows in our view count.
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know?
yeah. It
Even
really
in
shows.
our views, actually.
If you look at who's watching reactions, you can get a little bit of a litmus test because we don't see the Nielsen ratings, but we can see who's watching the reactions.
Yeah, I never know what to even, like, really pay attention
Quantify
to.
things
Or I never know what's actually true anymore.
Fair.
It's like, because you have such a camp that thrives off of, like, this is failing, and they always want to find a spin to do
I
that.
blocked enough people. I feel like X-Men was a largely positive reaction, but I also don't know what the other pockets of the internet are doing.
Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. All right, guys. Well, thank you to everyone who has Normac, you got your X-Men T-shirt. That's what I'm talking about, ladies and gentlemen. Get yourself. These are our favorite Marvel shirts that we have. The Super Marvel Bros.
Yeah.
And I have the early draft where I forgot to put an extra "na" on it, but whatever
caught
orders
it.
gets a proper "na."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Glad you. Good thing you caught it before all the nerds were as mad at you as
Yes.
I would be.
Yes. Okay. We will have to find a way to segue X-Men 97 spoiler talk,
Back
'cause that
in.
is the main drive of
Yep,
this live
we can bring
stream,
that back.
and we have not
I
done that.
guarantee a
We have
question.
just so not done that.
A question will involve
We
that.
are not focused
Okay,
today.
no, we're doing great. I'm proud of us.
Dakota Jones. Oh, we need a fun fact about ourselves. We said we would give a fun fact about ourselves every single time. Coy, what's your favorite place on Earth?
Oh, the Cliffs of Moher. These beautiful cliff over. It's like the Grand Canyon, but over water in Ireland. It's these staggering cliffs
That's your favorite place?
on the planet.
Wow. Good luck. You get to go there once every 10 years.
At best, yeah.
Yeah.
So far, not a frequent visit. Well, that makes it special because it's not a place I can just pop by.
That is very true.
So the Cliffs of Moher.
Well, Dakota Jones is asking, what is more likely, a 2-part Avengers versus X-Men episode or Okay, here we go. We can go into some
Let's see,
spoilers.
I was
Thank
gonna
God.
say,
Thank
it's
you, Dakota
inevitable.
Jones. Oh, you're helping us do the
First
You're helping us do the
question.
title of the video.
You are the host.
A 2-part Avengers versus X-Men episode or Avengers helping take down Onslaught in season 2. I gotta say, I'd be so excited for because it seems like they're teasing the Avengers being able to actually show up in X-Men 97.
Yeah,
They cut around to like most
a lot
of them.
of Avengers.
A lot of Avengers characters, but they've done it where the only one who had a voice was Captain America, right?
And T'Chaka.
Yeah,
But
T'Chaka,
I would
yeah.
imagine they'd use him on the Avengers team if they were going to assemble.
But we didn't give Iron Man a voice.
Nope.
We didn't give Daredevil a voice. We
Didn't
didn't give
give Spider-Man
Spider-Man
a
a voice. Can you imagine if they bring back that Spider-Man?
Dude, and he said he's down. Also, that guy's only got like 2,000 followers on Twitter. Someone follow him. I did.
I
Like,
will-
It's crazy.
I will say part of my concern is that it just actually, you know what? I'm just acting like it's a concern. I don't know why I said that.
You want to be
because
part of the negative internet?
I,
Is that what
I
you-
went negative way because it's kind of like a default
Yeah.
sometimes for me, but I am actually not concerned. I would love it if they just made them like full-on characters in
Oh,
X-Men.
yeah.
Because part of me was like, I hope it just doesn't become, because I love Mandalorian season 2, but I know some people were kind of turned off by it becomes so much about like
Everyone else.
everyone else in the X-Men, like, so good, all this shit. And then I went, oh, but do I want that for X-Men 97? And no, keep it
Right.
focused on them. And while I primarily want that, I still want all that other good shit.
Yeah, I
You know,
want
wa-
all
I
of it.
want
I'm
a
greedy.
Spider-Man character to be like a main character of that episode. I want a main character version of Hulk and Fantastic Four. Why not? I think that'd actually be a lot of fun. But what's more likely, helping them take
I
down
think
Onslaught? Yeah.
Because I think Onslaught has been so well set up for a long game villain. I think the stuff in the mind of Magneto really lays the groundwork for that being like a second or third act twist. And then the Avengers will help the X-Men take out Onslaught. So I think we'll get our cake and eat it too that way.
Did you take eye drops today?
Did I take eye drops?
Yeah.
I have prescription eye drops now.
They look like they're fucking doing you
My
wonders
eyes are
right
infected. My eyes are literally infected. My sinus got so infected it spread to my eyes. I have infected eyes. I have to take antibiotic. eye
All
drops.
week you did not look like this.
All week I felt awful, but I've kept it to myself.
But all of a sudden
You've edited me. You heard how bad I
there's this
sounded.
have you seen The Sopranos?
No,
Oh man,
so long.
There's this episode in the first season where he just wakes up after he's going to therapy. He just wakes up and he's suddenly like super depressed and he's immobile and fatigued. And he's like, I don't get it. I've been in therapy. Why am I worse? And it's because he started learning the truth.
Yeah, the actual like empathy of life.
That's what
me.
I feel like happened
That's
with you.
me. I learned the truth, and now
Holy
I'm broken.
God.
Yeah, no, my eyes are infected, Greg.
Guys, we're doing a charity live stream for this poor
Do
patient
we
right
have
here.
that music, the Sarah McLachlan music? Do we have a little like dogs are dying music?
X-Men won't be focused on cameos from Avengers all the time. It's just your X gene kicking in, Coy. That's what I see the cool one says in the chat. But I think they tease Onslaught enough where we will actually get that. That might have been too much to latch your brain onto for the first season, perhaps.
Yeah, and I also think Onslaught would be a worthy villain to have the X-Men maybe have to fight the Avengers at first, because maybe the Avengers see it as they created this thing that's harmful to the planet. And then you have that classic, they go from fighting to teaming up against Onslaught. Like, that'd be a great second season.
All right, that's perfect. Thank you, Dakota Jones, for kicking us off there, my friend. All right, Matt D. He's at before we Coy choose a question.
What's the best vacation you ever took and why?
The best vacation I ever took and why? Saved up so I could rent a beach condo place right about a 30-second walk from the beach to go
Cool.
with Olivia for a weekend, and I tried to remember how to ride a bicycle, which was hard.
You don't know how to ride a bike? Like, consistently?
Yeah,
Wow.
I didn't learn how to ride a bike till I was like in my 20s.
Oh.
And then
So it's not like riding a
failed.
bike?
Yeah, it's not like riding a bike. And then okay, we can't go to the story, but yeah,
Wow.
that was as easily my favorite vacation I've ever taken.
That sounds beautiful.
Yeah, but also the Mines of Moria. What did you say earlier?
Cliffs of Moria.
The Cliffs of Moria.
Dude, I'll show
The
you.
Mines of Moria is the Lord of the Rings.
It's one of my
The Cliffs
actually.
of Moria.
It's one of my phone background items.
Oh, that
Look how
is
beautiful that
beautiful.
place is,
Oh,
dude.
damn, yeah.
Part of my
I'd
manifestation
want to
board.
die after that because I won't be able to.
That's
top
why I'm
it.
glad I can't go too often. Because if I went and it get boring, I don't think it can get boring. But Cliffs of Moria are gorgeous.
So X-Men 3, Matt D, thanks for the super chat, my friend. What X-Men cameos do you expect in Deadpool 3?
Gambit. Channing Tatum. James Marsden.
You guys, I wish you were able to see this from my perspective, like in person.
I started all the
I
medicine.
just turned over. I'm asking this question.
That's how good I've been at keeping it together all week. I've never, okay, full disclosure, in the history of me working at Real Regions, I've never been like, guys, I've been there a lot. I'm dying. Until this week. And then I was like, I feel so bad. I said a negative thing. And now Greg sees why. Now you see what I've looked like at home. It's bad out there.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
I think Gambit. I think as Channing Tatum. I think we're gonna get some Marsden. I think maybe both Storms would be fun, but probably Halle Berry. I think all four Magneto Xavier duos. Who you got, Greg? He's busy laughing at me, not with me, because I'm not laughing.
Oh, God.
Who's he got?
I think X-Men cameo. I think.
Sorry, Harrison Ford. There's gonna be some dead air.
There's
there.
just like a week of context that factors into this moment.
That's how much I've been trying to make sure I did my job.
It's not like this just happened, guys. It's a whole.
Everything you've edited where I sounded a little off, it was just mucus.
Holy shit! Oh God, I haven't laughed this much in a long time. All right, so
You guys don't know what makes Greg happy. It's the
it's
suffering
going
of others.
dying.
When someone's suffering, Greg is a jolly little giant. Daphne
Guys,
Keane would be great.
I'm gonna take a little break just to tell you what the fucking text message was yesterday. All right, so holy shit. So he wrote down everything the doctor said. Ears, blew an eardrum. Hearing right ear, dull, dark, brick red nose. Looks broken, it's so clogged. Completely sealed with inner bruising and infection throat. Mucus draining, causing it to swell. Rods of discoloration. Eyes. Bacteria infection from sinus pressure / infection swollen orbital area. And I texted him, oh, fuck. That sounds really bad. Do you want me to cancel the live stream tomorrow? Nah, I got one more right in me.
One
And
last
he shows up like this. I'm like, dude, what are you doing to yourself?
One last ride.
I'm like, all right, well, all week he's actually been fine, so I'm assuming he's fine. He just walks in the door. I'm like, holy shit, man.
One last ride.
You gotta go home.
I'm a man of integrity. I'm a man of willpower. I'm a man of broken face. My whole face is broken underneath. I look like Deadpool. Inside, I look like Deadpool. Outside, I look like Coy.
What I would love is for Deadpool to show up in X-Men, the animated series.
Yes.
More than anything, I think out of any of the like the live action versions, to
Wade
translate,
Wilson would be amazing.
you can definitely. Who's the one who plays him in the animated show or the animated properties? He's the guy who does the Uncharted.
No, Nolan North.
Nolan North.
Yeah.
Like Nolan North would be really cool. However, I think no one would complain if it was actually Ryan Reynolds who did it.
Right.
Yeah.
I think keep one animated, keep one live action. Even though Ryan has basically taken over Deadpool, it would be cool to hear Nolan North back.
Absolutely. I see the cool one. Okay. Coy, do you see the mouse anywhere?
Absolutely love the X-Men review, Coy.
I gotta ask you a question.
Okay, ready.
All right. Are you an early bird or a night owl? That's fun.
Currently, neither. Currently, I'm just deceased until I regain consciousness. I think
I'll ask the questions. You can answer just directly to you. Absolutely love the X-Men review, Coy. You managed to perfectly encapsulate his ranking in the X-Men movies.
Oh, thank you. I'm so proud of that.
Where the movies shine, and we're all wish there had been just a bit more. Oh, that's great. So let me ask you this, Coy. If with X-Men 97, where would you place that if you were to place this season of X-Men 97
In that ranking?
In that ranking, where would you place that?
Logan's 1, Deadpool's 2, X-Men First Class is 3. It's 4.
You put it at 4. Okay.
X-Men 97, and that's high because there's 14 properties, including X-Men 97. So it'd be right after First Class for me.
I think I'd agree with you.
I think it's like very good, but like, it's 4th out of all of it for me, which is high.
Yeah.
That's still like an A-. But like Logan is near perfect. Deadpool changed things, and First Class showed me you could make a team movie in live action. So then X-Men 97 showed me how much you could do in animation. And the balance of nostalgia, new storylines, the amount of comic lore, all that's great, but I'd still put First Class just a little bit above it.
They really fucking did it, guys.
They did such an exceptional job.
They really pulled it off.
And we have so many interviews for you guys coming. Like while we're plugging stuff, like I'm really proud of the volume of X-Men 97 based interview stuff that's like around the corner that I've done while this sick.
And the directors have like watch our shit.
Dude,
we didn't know that till
flattered.
after we started recording.
Yeah,
them,
which was such a funny moment of like one of the directors said he watches our reactions before he watches the final cut.
Yeah.
And I was like, that is the highest honor a director could give. Like, I'm so flattered. That's why we do this sick.
Because you guys got to think about it, man. Okay, we have to stay on topic. Well, I just want to insert one more thing.
Yes.
Is that X-Men 97 had so much pressure because you're dealing with a nostalgia fan base, and it's so easy to get that wrong. And it's when you're doing something new or a continuation, it's a completely different thing because you have more room for experimentation, and this creates a whole new level of expectation. And they managed to do it that felt like the most honorable way for the fans, and still give us something that felt like a breath of fresh air.
Agreed.
I'm so impressed with how they actually pulled that off. It's one of the to me, it's one of the biggest accomplishments Marvel's ever done, and I think people are being really late to realizing why.
The scope of it.
Yeah,
it is monumental accomplishment.
not an easy thing to pull off
And
at all.
When we sit down with like Jake and Charlie, I'm really excited to tell them in person like what you've done, like the impact of what this is, because it's huge. Also, thank you for watching that video. I think it's literally one of my favorite things I've ever done. Like that video is one of my best works, I think.
Imposters asking a question.
Imposters.
So before that, Coy,
Yes.
let me ask you this.
This is more our speed.
Okay, let's try to make it fast. Wow, holy shit, that's hard. These are gonna
Right?
lead to
These
stories.
are like,
what's one thing on your bucket list?
oh, what an easy one. I want to teach my kids about Spider-Man.
Oh, wow.
I'm really excited to
You gotta
have.
get kids first.
Well, yeah, but it's on the bucket list. I think it would be really cool to share the things I love with like half me's.
You could just teach a kid.
Yeah, I've taught a lot of kids about Spider-Man. I want to teach my kids.
You could just go to a school,
I've done that.
walk out on property during recess,
Not done that.
start teaching a kid.
Hey, kid,
Just
you want
grab
to
a-
learn about Spider-Man?
Grab a kid.
Hey, kid, this kid likes Spider-Man.
And then you could cosplay as Dr. Octopus.
Yep, you
grab
guys
him
will
with
never
your
see me on this
tentacles.
channel again because it might be within 300 yards of a school.
Coy, what do you think of the new Ultimate Universe in comics?
I love it. I think the Ultimate Spider-Man run is one of the best runs of Spider-Man in the last 10 years. I think it's easily the best access point to Spider-Man in the last 10 years. 2000's Ultimate Spider-Man, I think, is the easiest access point to Spider-Man or comics in general, so it's good. Actually, it ties into what Greg's saying about X-Men 97. This is the same level of scale if you're a comic fan, because X-Men is to people that love the animated series. That's kind of the bar. Like, Batman and X-Men are the bar for animated, like, comic adaptations. Ultimate Spider-Man is the bar for revamping a character. Like, Ultimate Spider-Man, I've told Greg, that's the comic to read if you want to get into comics. So to do Ultimate Spider-Man again in a new way, 24 years later, very high bar, and
Yeah.
it lived up to it. The X-Men one, I'm not as into yet. It's very focused on one character. It doesn't feel like a team book, and the one character I'm not as invested in yet, but I think I will be. I keep reading it. And I think Black Panther is right there in the middle where it's like very good, but not quite as exceptional as Spidey, but it has my interest a lot more than X-Men so far. And then Avengers drops this month, and I'm really excited for it.
It's so boring when you talk about comics.
I know. Everybody's like, I'm asleep now.
Just
Why do you do that? Is he even talking to Logic? What's he talking about?
Let's move on. Oh my God, Dart's car just gave us a fun little super sticker.
Oh, cute.
Isn't that nice?
What's something on your bucket list?
Oh, something on my bucket list?
Yeah.
I would love to go skydiving. Oh my God, is that real?
Really?
Holy shit, I want to
said
go
it out loud.
skydiving. Oh
That
no.
means you mean it. Well, shit.
Heights are my biggest fear.
I'm terrified of heights, but that's why it's not on my bucket list.
That's why I want to do it.
I
I
don't
want
do
to conquer
things like that.
I want to conquer
I
it.
respect that. All right.
I'm terrified of heights. How are you doing roller coasters? Save that. um,
Interviewing M&M's on my bucket.
Hayden Center. How do you feel about roller coasters?
I get motion sick, so I don't ride them.
Okay, good to know.
I'm a little bitch.
Fun fact about Coy: he doesn't ride roller coasters, even at like Disneyland.
I ride the not aggressive
Can
ones.
you do like a Space Mountain?
Yeah, I just have to sit for like 40 minutes after, so I have to plan my day around which ones I'm
Oh
doing.
Jesus! I am never going to a theme park
No,
with
I'm
you.
the worst.
Yeah,
I get
know.
like because I used to box, I get concussions easy, so my
Oh.
brain bruise is easy. So sometimes if I hit a ride the wrong
You used
way,
to box. There's a fun fact.
yeah, Golden Gloves back in Lowell. But now I get concussed easy. So
Golden
now,
gloves too.
Yeah.
I should stop making fun of Coy.
Mickey-
when he's sick.
Mickey Ward is my coach.
Oh,
The guy
no
Mark
shit,
Wahlberg
really?
played is my real coach.
Oh my God!
Yeah, back when I was like,
Really?
yeah, that's why that movie means so much to me. Because on set, Christian spoke Dickie so well, he was translating. So Dickie and Mickey used to come to my house for Thanksgiving.
Dude, this is a
And-
wild fact.
And Dickie speaks very inarticulately. So Christian learned Dickieism so well that he would translate for the crew what Dickie was saying. Because Dickie would come on set like drunk and be like, "Ah, it's bad." And
Oh,
like,
that's wild.
so Christian would like translate. So me and Christian got close. And to this day, like when I see Christian at an event, we talk about Dickie Jr., who's Dickie's kid. And like, because him and Dickie connected to such point, they stay in touch. So me and Christian have this connection to Lowell through my Golden Gloves time, which is why like he's one of the reasons he's my favorite Batman is I have this real connection to the man. Because Christian Bale's this Welsh jolly Santa guy.
Yeah.
He plays these absolute psychopaths, but Christian's one of the sweetest guys in town. Like he's jolly, but he plays these terrifying men. But all because of Golden Gloves, I have these connections to him.
It takes it takes a sensitive guy to play a psychopath. I've noticed.
Truly, and to play it that well, like the
Yeah,
dead eye
'cause
thing
you have to
find
not
that.
judge the character.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I watched American Psycho last night actually.
Guys,
I feel good movie.
I am loving all these comments that are coming in. I honestly wish we could acknowledge everyone. I am
Kind of secret
scrolling.
life that I had before. I just revealed it.
I'm like speed reading them in my head. I could speed read really fast, and I just gotta say, you guys are living. I love the chat here. It's so positive. But
Gotti
Hayden,
versus Ward is one of the best fights of all time. Those are my thoughts.
but Hayden, oh, you're hot, Coy. Hayden is saying, "Good to see y'all again, Greg and Coy."
Hey, thanks, Hayden. He's grown his YouTube page. Killing it.
Okay, Deadshot back at it. Okay, Coy. Quick one. I'll make it short. You can do whatever you want. I'll make it short. Watch me, baby. Watch me.
What does your dream life look like? Make it short.
My dream life looks like me just sitting at home after winning the lottery, eating pizza, and catching up on all the movies and video games and shows I never got to play. And then my wife just doing whatever the hell I want her to do. That's my dream life. I feel like it's a realistic goal, and one day I will accomplish it.
Big red hat energy, Greg.
More of like fantasy life is what I would call it.
I don't think you'd want to sit around and eat pizza.
Not an actual goal that in mind, but a fantasy that just like, yeah, this brings me happiness thinking about that.
Fantasy life is definitely different than what I thought that was going. Okay.
Deadshot is saying, just watch the Wolverine fan film called Logan the Wolf. If you want Berserker Logan, this definitely delivers and highly recommended reaction, please. Appreciate that. We're going to use this opportunity to talk a little bit about Wolverine with X-Men 97.
Yes.
So with X-Men 97, we last left off with Wolverine having the adamantium pulled out of him, and you were mentioning that there's a storyline where, because that's straight from the comics image that they brought to life, a little bit more graphic in the actual comics image. They just kind of like, it's still pretty graphic.
Yeah, I thought noticed that.
At the same time, it's still very much reflective of it. What do you think is going to be the storyline for Wolverine moving forward?
Season 2, I think we're going to get the feral Wolverine, where in the comics he goes feral after someone tries to re-put the adamantium into his body and it rejects it. So I think they'll skip that. I think they'll go right into like something about the trauma of having it removed causes him to go feral, so they don't have to do like a double whammy to get him feral. I would say they're going to go into the like Wolverine on his own trying to figure out how to get back to humanity storyline. I think that'll tie nicely into the idea of Apocalypse and all of the humanity concepts that we haven't gotten to dabble with, because so far it's been mutants versus humanity. So Wolverine finding himself will be an interesting journey. So I think it'll be like instead of the movies that are like Wolverine and the X-Men, it'll be like the X-Men and Wolverine. He'll be more like Hagrid out in the shop. Okay,
we got to remember to maybe talk about the Horsemen at some point.
Okay,
right?
Horsemen, got it.
I'll make sure that we don't forget. I got you, Coy.
I'm
turning into Nurse Greg.
Okay,
now.
good. Now that he's laughed at me for 45 minutes.
Yeah.
Now
that I've got that out of my system,
he's like, I'll take care of you
I
now
will
that
now
I'm dead.
look out for Coy. Thank you for everyone who's been
an
doing
hour
the
of
super
laughing
chats.
at him was the cost.
All right, Coy. Do you have a quote that you love to live by at all? Any quote? Any random quote?
Win or learn.
Win or learn.
Yeah, because every time you don't win, you can learn something from it until you're dead. So you either win or you learn. You actually don't learn from wins; you learn from losses. So it's got a lot of. You can break down those 3 words a lot, and like I really love that every situation is an opportunity to win or learn. I love that every single trial is going to be one of those things, and I love that it implies strongly that every time you have a success, it isn't actually a learning experience.
True.
Win or learn.
I mean, sometimes win or learn is a much more efficient way.
That's why I like the 3-word.
I say like succeed. Sometimes you succeed and sometimes you learn is what I say. And but you got to keep in mind though that when you do fail, it's important to like take out your anger on someone right away.
Just immediately, whoever's close.
You have to blame them.
It's gotta be victim mentality is the answer.
If you don't learn how to blame those around you,
who are you?
Are you really learning?
Yeah, come on, society. Get after it. And Change Your Stars from Knight's Tale, I love.
Nice. Good one. Shantae! Does it hurt for me when I yell? Does it hurt for you if I yell?
I've only got one ear.
Okay. Cable mentioned the stories he grew up hearing about the X-Men. Was it Scott and Jean telling him those stories when they got transported? Or were the X-Men really still talked about a millennia later? I feel like the X-Men were still talked about a millennia later. And when looking at the Days of Future Past storyline, at least in the X-Men animated show canon, Wolverine was still around for that time, because of who Wolverine is. And I imagine that does kind of help keep the legacy alive a little bit, And we don't know exactly when the X-Men were all killed off or when they all died.
Right.
And just considering the massive impact they had as a
no
point
matter
in
what,
history.
they're huge freedom fighters for a new species.
They're a massive point in history, so of course they would be talked about, and especially if they even led to a war that happened. From trying to fight to prevent it. Yes, they would be talked about for sure because you're learning the lineage and the history of.
And Cable would also be very plugged into that as a freedom fighter and as the son of. So there's a lot of reasons Cable would be very invested.
Which part of this? So we ended off in X-Men 96.
Scotty's son.
It was Scotty's son, and then we had the future and the past.
So Age of Apocalypse is the young Ebenezer, and the older one is a Scotty son with Nathan, who might be Strife, but I think he's just Cable.
You know what's beautiful about that? I feel like one thing I don't know if we actually brought it up in our discussion, is that whole time they were talking about not being able to be with their son, and now they get to be with their son.
Yeah, and that
And-
beautiful moment in the diner is one of my favorite Cable moments ever. Actually, that's one of the things I talked with Rob about, was how
Yeah.
impactful that Cable moment was, because they gave him time.
Well, the fact that he's a child now, they actually.
Yeah. Oh, we get to grow up with him.
Yeah. I wonder if I wonder if the approach they'll take with Cable in that department with Jean and Scott is they'll let Cyclops and Jean age.
Yeah, well, because
In that timeline?
that older woman is Rachel Summers.
Oh, okay.
So we're gonna see a lot of different like time versions of these characters.
We still haven't gotten Scott's brother in the show.
Mm-mm. And
Mm.
Scott's brother, well, because he has Havoc and he also has Vulcan, and we
Yeah.
briefly saw Vulcan in like the second episode,
Mm.
and then in the last frame of like all those X-Men on the board,
Mm.
Havoc was there as the other.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Havoc
Oh,
was in
cool.
it. Yeah, and he
Awesome.
wasn't listed as dead. So
That's cool.
I assume season 2 is going to be, my personal theories in season 2 is we'll have the past mutants, the future mutants, and then the present mutants, including the 4 Horsemen moment, which I do believe we are getting Gambit as a 4 Horsemen. But I believe that timeline we're going to bring in Kitty Pryde, Havoc, and like all the X-Men that we didn't get to like celebrate in the old 90s show will be the present tense mutants.
Hmm.
And I think it's a really great way to have 3 X-Men teams just like in the comics. I think it's going to feel like the books where certain episodes are on certain timelines about certain characters.
Oh, that's good to hear. Damn. All righty. Okay, Coy,
Yes.
what time period would you time travel to in honor of Spidey Sensei 72? Every super chat, we ask a fun fact.
To visit, not stay.
To visit.
Okay, definitely the 80s. I'd want to do so much blow and like have the coolest outfits, and like it was when it was cleaner. Then you're less likely to die. So lots of like free love, drugs, and like dope music.
Cool. You might get stuck there.
I won't last long.
You might to break your time
I
travel
won't
device
last long in the 80s.
based off of the type of
Real
debauchery
short
you were talking
timeline
about
for me.
participating in.
Yeah, no, that's real.
You might just die in
That's
the
okay.
80s,
Worth it.
actually,
It's a hell of
off
a time.
one night binge.
People had to be talented then. I like that about it.
All right, it's a good answer. It's
Yeah,
a good answer.
80s, hell of a time.
Spidey Sensei 72 saying props to Coy for being the RR MVP and playing while hurt. Hope you feel better soon.
Thank you.
Yeah, he just did this because he wants attention.
That's it. I did a live stream because I want attention. I did it sick because I'm a fool.
Thank you, Spidey Sensei 22. Lucy BX, Coy, you're up.
Lucy BX, I will
No
get to you
time.
after.
Ask me a
I
question.
was segueing.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my bad. I'm so
See, I was-
sorry.
I
I'm
was so
so
ready.
sorry.
Actually, this is a fun short one. What's the worst seat on a plane?
The worst seat on
worst
a plane?
seat on a plane.
All right, I'm going to be really rude right now,
Uh-oh.
okay? Because I'm being honest.
Okay.
When you're in the middle
Mm-hmm.
and
Definitely the worst so far.
when there's like a really huge smelly guy next to you.
Yep.
Because I've had that,
Yep, it's one of the worst.
and it's really bad.
And when they try to be friendly, like not only are they physically a problem, but then they want to be nice, and you're like, I don't like anything about this situation. And then you're like, this is personal because you're trying to be personal.
I've met. Oh, you mean if it's that guy?
Yeah, the guy is also trying to be friendly.
Because like you're in the plane, you
and
have
then-
to be crushed,
And they have an odor, and then they're like, hey. And you're like, I don't
Yeah.
want to think of you as a person. I would
Yeah.
like to just acknowledge
and I
this
can't
is-
like. I feel bad saying that, but I'm being honest about it. I feel bad because I'm like, well,
Some people
I'm
smell.
not judging them for that. It's just
It's a,
the situation puts me like, now I'm cramped,
nobody wants that.
And I didn't ask for this. I
Right.
didn't ask for the cramp situation.
Actually, you paid for it.
I know.
That's what kills me. Is when I pay to be uncomfortable. That's the worst seat.
yeah.
I agree. And then the front
Or
is,
any Spirit airline flight.
yeah, and the front is like a wall, so you're also cramped like this, and the
Yeah.
seat, hell.
Yeah. Yeah, specifically when it's a smell.
The smell.
It's really the smell.
It
Where
just
it's
cycles
actually not
through.
the size. It's like
The
if
size
someone-
makes it worse because you're pressed against
Yeah,
it.
yeah. The size makes it worse
Can't
when you
really
have to like
escape.
be like that for a long time because you don't want to like be bumping elbows or anything.
Yeah.
But yeah, when they smell.
Sometimes they're sweaty, and you get that little bit of slime on you.
Yeah.
Get that little miscus.
And you fly more than me.
Yeah, I
so you
fly
get
a
it.
lot.
Damn.
It's bad. Okay. I didn't see the question before I.
Got it.
gone. I
Oh,
can't
it
see
says,
here.
"Hey guys, there have been 2 Bad Boys Ride or Die trailers, but no reaction from RRR. Are you guys not interested? I'm semi-interested in the new Bad Boys for what's it called? Ride or Die.
The third one was called Bad Boys for Life, which is ironic.
Oh yeah, okay, that's right. That's a big debate there. I'm semi-interested in it. I feel like we'll react to it when it comes out here on VOD. I feel like that'd be a fun reaction to give for people. But yeah, I'm not. I don't know.
I'm super interested. I love that franchise, but I have been not watching trailers if I'm already interested.
Sure.
Like if I'm already gonna see it, I'd rather see it.
Yeah, we should have put that in our trailer compilation. Damn, didn't even think about that.
That's how much Greg's interested. He did an entire trailer compilation
Yeah.
excluding the Bad Boys.
I don't know.
You even had like the Dune prequel trailer in there.
It's crazy how Will Smith. It still blows my mind sometimes.
Well, how different his life is post slap.
It's like that night was supposed
To be his, he won
the
Best Actor that
greatest
night. He
of
won
his
Best
acting
Actor.
career.
Yeah,
And he completely damaged everything.
I got a hot take.
Yeah.
I like Chris Rock less after that night, not Will Smith.
What?
Yeah.
Why?
Because Chris Rock's a little bitch.
Wow, I thought you handled it pretty well.
He took it like a champ, but like, great, you can take a slap like a champ. He was still picking on his wife's health issues. Like, if you're gonna be punching down, then don't expect no ramifications. And like, I like talk shit, get hit personally. Like, if you're gonna disrespect my wife, so I've always been a big Will Smith fan. I'm a bigger one now.
All right, good to
So
hear.
I literally read his book the week he slapped him because I was like, I'm picking up his book, supporting him.
We have said the most awful things about ourselves today.
We've just owned
I
it.
made fun of Charlie Cox's hairline and looking old.
Oh, you did. And I
Yeah,
said I'm team
We
assault.
talked about team
As
assault.
long as it's assaulting a comedian making fun of your wife.
I talked about the kind of people I don't like sitting next to on a plane.
Yep. Yep. Here we
And
are.
I have obnoxiously laughed my ass off at you
Also-
for dying.
Also, like people like John who are like, he should have gotten arrested are so funny to me because it's like, if you arrest someone over a slap, you're an actual coward. And cops are often, but that's next level.
Yeah.
When what's his name was the Judd Apatow was like, he could have killed him. I stopped watching Judd Apatow movies.
Really?
I won't pay for them. I'll sneak in, but Judd Apatow is such a little bitch. So, that's my hot take.
Respect.
That's
Respect your hot take.
I just think sometimes violence is the answer.
As long as it's your hot.
It's who I am.
This live stream is gonna destroy our reputations
What?
in all aspects.
What reputations? I mean, that's where I'm at.
Okay. Shield vids. That was your fun fact about Coy. Hi, Coy and Greg.
Team Will Smith.
Simple question. Will you ever react to Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. on the channel? John has, but what about you? Probably not. I feel like as time has gone on, there's less interest for people to do reactions to Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
I don't really like it. I thought it was like the tone wasn't for me. It was too network TV.
What's funny is I know one of the main directors of it.
Mhm.
He even directed the finale.
Mm-hmm.
And his sister is the showrunner of it with Jed Whedon.
Oh yeah.
And I've met them.
Yeah.
And the sister's so nice, super nice. Hung out with her for a while, for a couple days. I even told her, I'm like, there's just something about your spirit that I just love being around.
Yeah.
But I've never seen the show.
I mean, that's probably refreshing for them because that means they can talk about something else in their life.
And but even the director, yeah, I talk with him a lot.
Yeah.
I've never seen the show. Yeah.
To me, I don't know. To me, it's like it's a tone where like I don't read every single comic. There's some runs of comics that aren't me, so
Yeah.
it feels like the show is that where it's like this is just very network TV toned,
Yeah.
and that's okay.
And Nalo, have y'all seen the fan? Okay, that's my fun fact. I haven't seen that. Have y'all seen the fan film Logan the Wolf? It came out yesterday. It's dope. This is actually the second question that's
About
being brought
Logan.
about Logan the
Yeah,
Wolf.
have not seen it. Have not heard about
Is
it until
this
today.
getting like a great feedback right now?
It's the most I've heard about it. I didn't know this was a thing.
I'm gonna just look up what like the view count is on this.
Logan the Wolf.
Okay, Tyro Magnus reacted to it.
3.3 million. Oh no,
yeah.
that's a clip of the actual
It's got 122,000 views in okay.
in a day.
Oh, it's looking like a little more Viking-esque here.
Like a Northman-y.
Oh, that's
oh,
cool.
Wow, it looks cool. I mean, we just reacted to it. Look at us.
I mean, we reacted to like the little
We
preview that
saw
we use
7
when you
frames.
leave when you leave the cursor
We saw
over
7
the,
things.
over the
They
image.
looked great.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, good
Well,
for
good
them.
for them. I'm glad it's getting
I'm-
all this traction.
Yeah, I'm super happy for him. That's impressive.
You know what's inspiring about this is seeing this version of Logan the Wolf and people embracing it. It just made me go, okay, so yeah, when they do actually bring Wolverine
Yeah.
past Hugh Jackman,
Go hard.
you're going to have to go hard and do a very different take.
Yeah, they need to make sure he's short and like they need to make sure visually and emotionally it feels like a different version of him.
Like Danny DeVito.
Yeah, all day. Danzig.
I'm scared of Danny DeVito.
Are you?
I saw him in person once. Have you?
On Always Sunny?
Yeah, have you seen him in person?
Very briefly.
He is a really small guy.
He's so tiny, dude.
I was like, I've heard this my whole life.
Yeah, it's nothing can prepare you. He is so tiny.
He is actually really tiny.
Yeah, it's like when you meet a child and you're like, do I kneel?
Yeah,
He's so kind. Like
I couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
You know, who's also shockingly short?
Tom Hardy.
Oh, is he?
It's my height, but he looks tall.
No, okay, Willem Dafoe.
Oh, tiny. Remember
Tiny.
Spider-Man?
Yeah,
But, like,
when you introduced me to him, he is so tiny.
and he's so friendly. I love Willem Dafoe being the opposite of Norman Osborn. He's like,
kinda-
hey guys, like he came over all like, ah.
Yeah, he's so jovial, and he's got such a towering presence
And he's so
in
little.
films.
Yeah.
But he's a tiny human being.
Yeah. Also, apparently, huge Dafoe.
Really?
Like, they had to put a fake one over his because it was cartoonishly big compared to his body. There was a
That's where all the height went.
yeah, no, that's why he carries himself so big.
Damn.
Small Willem, big Dafoe.
Okay, here we go. Back to X-Men 97 spoilers.
Yeah.
Okay, here we are. Coy, quick fun fact.
Are avocados overrated?
A little.
I like them.
I like them, but people act like they're the greatest thing in the world.
Yeah, they're great, but they're not like the branding.
Yeah. But now I'm in the mood for an
I want
avocado.
one bad. I want one bad. Maybe they are
now,
absolutely
now I'm
entitled,
like,
you
but
know?
an avocado
I could
sounds
go for an
quite
avocado.
delicious.
I would
now
like that
I
little
think about it.
tahini. Sounds nice.
Anyway, so Kwame Taylor, thank you for the super chat. X-Men 97 will do for animation what Iron Man did for the MCU. Let's stop trying to merge those universes.
I think they did a good job making sure they stayed separate in the finale. They looked like, I mean, every character was shown not being their MCU version.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, I don't think it's certainly not an MCU version. Like, they're so comic accurate that you can't really. I mean, Iron Man is
The 90s, like
yeah. I mean,
he turned around like this.
There's something about the Iron Man and the Captain America suit that feels like adaptable for live action more so. But when you look at like the Daredevil one, like that's so definitely not the live action version of Daredevil.
Yeah, so comic-y.
What it made me think of when we were seeing Daredevil in the 97 version, do you think we'll get a more defined double D in the
I don't
chest
think
piece?
we will in the MCU.
You don't think we'll ever get the double D?
I think when they don't have, I think they have to have a new actor. It'll be like Wolverine when they have to do a new whole
Really?
thing. So in like 10 years.
Oh, that's too bad.
Yeah, I just don't see them doing that with Charlie
Why not?
because it's so grounded and gritty comparatively. I just feel like that's so on the nose.
I feel like it can definitely be.
I think it'd be awesome. I want it. I'm just saying I think that's how they perceive it.
I feel like when he embraces more of his what he stands for as a hero, I think it could be symbolic of that.
I'd love that, but I just don't feel like they, if they're sticking with the Netflix tone, that they will.
But then Marvel can make jokes about it. Double D jokes.
Yeah,
Because Marvel takes
Marvel
the piss out of
definitely-
things.
Definitely does.
That's the future of Marvel.
just jokes. People love when they just have 100 jokes on each other. It's gonna be great.
The future is definitely an animation for me, and I do want to see the Avengers crossover
Yeah.
a little bit more in the X-Men series.
But I'd like to keep it like you're saying in universe. I'd like the animation universe to stay.
Exactly, and I think the benefit too that X-Men can do is while they're showing that they have these other characters that we're familiar with, it's also a fantastic like X-Men the animated series introduced me to so many characters as it did for many people. I didn't know who like the Morlocks were until X-Men animated series. You know, my first introduction to Apocalypse. So many of my first introductions to X-Men world in general was X-Men the animated series, and it's likewise for Spider-Man the animated series. And I feel like they have that opportunity to do that again because they didn't really. They did that a little bit here. Like we got Bastion. I can't think of any. I mean, we saw like other little cameos, but they kept it really focused. And now they have the opportunity to show us a lot more characters that that people are not as familiar with.
Yeah, I agree.
And I think you have to I think they could play like a good balance by here's who people know. You got your Captain America,
So
you got
you're
your Iron Man,
invested.
and now you got your. Give us a deep cut, Coy.
I think they should bring in Brother Voodoo to go with Doctor Strange.
I have no idea who you're talking about.
Yeah. They had a bunch of people behind. I didn't realize Crimson Dynamo was behind Omega Red. I got so excited for Omega Red that I was like, "Who's that guy?" And I owned it. I was like, "That's a deep cut even for me." I think they could bring in like a different take on villains, where they could bring in some weird ones because in animation you might
Like
play
Venom,
like Venom. So much an
I
obscure
love
one.
Venom,
but like
Venom every time.
I think Arcade would be cool.
Okay.
Arcade's like a guy that literally makes these giant elaborate games, but like they're physical, unlike Mysterio. So he traps you in arcade and makes you play
fun.
games to get out. That I don't know if it would work in live action.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what I would do. And Venom.
A comedy show like Powerless, a Marvel animation.
Yes, that'd be cool.
I think it's really smart because Shrew's bringing up that Marvel's been really distinguishing their departments lately.
Yes, Marvel Television has its own imprint.
Marvel Animation.
Yes, I completely agree. Having the logos really.
It helps to not make it feel as truncated or that we're being as bombarded.
It also
with
gives you
Marvel.
confidence there are different department heads.
True.
Just subconsciously, you go like, "Who's running Marvel TV?" Even if no one is, it feels like it's a different company.
But I think it also takes away some of that overwhelmingness that I think audiences might associate with Marvel because they've kind of come to expect that everything is canon. So having things like Marvel Television, Marvel Animation.
I hope to do more of those Marvel specials
in association with Marvel,
which no one knows is. Even the actors were tricked into thinking they were in Marvel movies.
I love that Sony does that. They make it the tiniest text
in association with Marvel Studios.
What's that text?
Don't worry, it's already changed the frame.
Yeah, that's what you're dealing with, man.
I'm Lord Miller. I'm excited. It's changing.
Lord Miller's the shit, man.
I think that's going to be a real good shift for Sony.
I think they're great. They're great producers. That's the thing. They're fantastic producers, and a lot of people don't give them enough credit. It's hard to find a great producer.
I think Seth Rogen doesn't get the credit he deserves. I think they don't get the credit they deserve. There's some really good producers out there that are like shape. And Margot Robbie is a great producer. People don't realize she did like. Not only did she produce Barbie, but she produced Saltburn this year.
I saw that.
Like she's got a great eye for talent.
She made $50 million off Barbie.
Her. I mean, it made $1 billion, so good for her.
Go to rejectnationshop.com, Michael Jordan.
Yeah. Glad Michael Jordan's in here. Michael Jordan.
The real Michael Jordan.
Buying shoes, buying shirts.
Okay, here we are. This is the mood of us today.
Yeah.
Where are we at?
Here we are.
Here we are, guys. Just loading a few things. Excuse me, everyone.
We got this.
Okay, I'm going to read a couple of stream logs really quick. You're okay, Coy. How you hanging in there,
good.
buddy?
I'm
How you
sitting.
hanging in?
Here I go again on my own.
Oh, wait, I got this covered. Damn it, Coy. Help me out.
Look at Twisters.
There we go. Ronan Unchained, he is saying, "Que pasa, Greg and Coy?" That means, what's up? Very intrigued for the Noir live action show. Hope it's in black and white. If y'all haven't read the Spider-Man Noir miniseries from 2020, you should do it. The diner scene in X-Men 97 finale broke me. Also, Peter found MJ. Keep up the good work and hilarious work. You know, what's funny is before we filmed X-Men 97, the finale, I was joking with Coy in here about, like, they should just throw in this Spider-Man and throw in this Spider-Man and this Spider-Man, because Coy was pointing out that no one has ever really had a wrap-up in the Spider-Man movies.
No, it ended with Mary Jane lost.
But that's what there. But you were pointing out, like, Tom Holland hasn't really concluded.
No one has concluded their Spider-Man story.
Tobey Maguire's didn't truly conclude. Andrew Garfield's didn't really conclude. And then you were talking about how the Spider-Man 90 show didn't conclude either. And you were just bringing that up to me.
When the finale,
And we didn't bring that up in the actual video.
And it was literally the last thing we talked about before.
You brought it up to me before we filmed. And
they did it.
Yeah, and they did it.
And we were just so
concluded
hyped
that he found Mary Jane.
The canon timing's a little tricky, though.
Of course it is.
The show ended in 98.
Whatever. They gave us
this
the
was
thing we
X-Men 97, so I feel like he might lose her again.
Yeah, it's true.
Because that was 97 Spider-Man. What 98 Spider-Man going to do?
The fascinating part about having the Spider-Man cameos here is they seem like they're teasing that they actually want. How fucking cool is that, guys?
That we're talking about these.
Like they don't have the Spider-Man 90 show up, but they use that as a device
to get us word of mouth.
Oh, it's so smart to not just have. It's one thing to have Spider-Man make an appearance where he swings into frame for a second, which is cool. But then to do that where you're
Mary Jane and Peter Parker
including a storyline, like,
different,
just through the visual, so smart, so smart, and it's a great way to build a demand for wanting this to return.
I totally agree.
And we're hearing like nothing about Spider-Man freshman year. Like we're hearing like
I heard a thing today, and I was like, oh right.
Is he getting canceled?
And they said today, like there was a quote about it being so Ditko-esque and how it's going to feel like classic 60s Spider-Man. And I was like, I guess they're still making it.
I guess they're still making it because we haven't heard anything about it in the last couple of years.
Marvel Animation, as good as it is, maybe they can do something that'll make us not think about Spider-Man 90s the whole time, but they should have an idea. They should have that green light button ready.
Yeah, they really should. And I feel like people would be more hyped for that than they would be for
First class
Spider-Man freshman year.
It's already, freshman year is already like done, so I guess they should put it out, but man.
Oh, well. Tiffy, yo, oh my God, we haven't asked a question, Coy.
Oh, right. Is hot dog a sandwich?
Hot dog a sandwich?
Is hot dog a sandwich?
Is hot dog a sandwich?
Like, is a hot dog a sandwich?
This is the fun fact that you're asking me? My opinion if a hot dog is a sandwich?
Number 11.
Well, no, it's not. I do not consider a hot dog a
2
sandwich.
pieces of bread and meat in the middle.
No,
Sandwich.
no. No.
It's literally like a
I
sandwich.
think a sandwich you hold like there's a very specific way you associate a sandwich, and the way you hold it is you hold it like this.
Okay.
A hot dog you have to there's
Straddle the
no other
balls?
sandwich that you hold like this. You don't tilt a hot dog sideways
So much
because the
Photoshop
mustard
happening right
would
now.
fall over.
The future of Photoshop.
You asked the fucking question,
I
Coy.
did.
I'm going to answer it for you.
I know some message boards right now are very happy with everything that just went down. Okay, I see your point. I just consider a sandwich anything that is meat.
What the
between two
fuck is
slices
this
of bread.
super chat? What? 2,000?
ARS is where?
Holy shit. But it's in the red.
What is ARS?
What is that?
We got to get to that.
We're going to find out the actual conversion rate.
Yeah, I'm just curious where it's from.
What if it turns into like $1?
I think it's $2. Someone just said.
IRS 2,000 converted to USD. $2.
Yeah, $2.27.
Look how exciting that is.
Yeah.
It's like 2,000.
red $2.
That is so awesome.
Where is it from? Argentina.
We should fucking go to Argentina.
Oh,
$2
dude,
to get us
holy
2,000
crap.
pesos?
We should definitely.
Why
bring-
are we living in Argentina?
I ask myself that every day.
That's amazing.
Argentina.
Anyway.
We'll get to that super chat. I just had to know. Argentinian
We're the
pesos.
first people to be excited
About
about
Argentinian
dude.
pesos?
Wow, that's amazing.
That's incredible.
insane.
What a
We should-
strong dollar we have.
America.
Guys, we need to travel. We have lost our minds.
Hey guys, I just wanted to say how much I love the channel. Keep up the great work. Also, show more of John. LOL. I am gatekeeping John behind the scenes.
Dude, I love that
He's in
every
a-
time
he's in
John's
a
in the prior
cage.
video. He's like, "Where's John?" I was like, "He was just
John
here."
was literally in
In the
3
last video.
videos.
Like the last
He
video.
literally had 3 videos
John.
go up today. He was
John is like we also
Doctor.
let him have a Saturday off. Why don't we get Saturdays off? Why don't you ask why are we here?
But John, John has the most difficult time with tasks, so he'll often work extremely late, and it's we call it the Johnisms. With trying to finish a task, and you're like, why is this taking so long? He'll eventually get it done. So sometimes you gotta sacrifice him actually filming some
Yeah.
videos to get the other stuff done.
It's getting done.
But it's getting done. It's
That's
getting
important.
done.
It's important.
All right, man already doesn't sleep enough as it is.
Come on, John. What are you doing? I've invited John. I've invited Greg to just as many parties. But every time I've invited John or Greg to a party, Greg will send a polite decline. John will show up at 11:30 at night.
He does. John shows up when everyone's leaving.
We're all winding
and
down. We're
he-
all like, that was fun. That was
he-
at that
he's
point
part
when
of
you're
the-
hugging people and you're like, this was nice. John appears.
He's part of the procrastination group, is what I call it.
But it's
When-
always nice when you want that last minute rally.
when even the host wants you all
Yeah,
to
when the
leave.
host is like, ooh.
But there's like 3 people who just won't fucking evacuate.
And then there's a 4th.
John is part of that person. Yeah.
If you want like a midnight rally for your birthday, make sure John's there.
It's
'cause he's your
1,000%
guy.
John. Hey Aisha, good to see you. It's okay, Coy. Do we play Helldivers 2?
I don't know what
God, no.
Helldivers is. I didn't play Helldivers 1.
All right, in 10 minutes, guys, we are going to end. No,
My
no,
misery.
That's
It's
not
taking me out back
that's,
and
that's
shooting
not
me.
the nice way of saying it. We're going to disable the super chats because we need to end the stream to get this guy out of here to the emergency room. We want to make sure we acknowledge all the ones that already came through. So yeah,
Yeah.
to get it in while you can, guys.
Now's the time. Get your Argentinian. What are they? What is that? Is that a rupee? Is that a pesos? I think it's pesos.
Do you guys think season 2 will be better without Cameo? Or as good?
I mean,
They
he-
have a
he helped
lot of
write
the-
on it, and his team is great.
They have all mainly the writers. He didn't. Some people think he wrote season 2. A showrunner is the leader, yes, and that's really important. They
Mhm.
guide the way the stories are going. That's a really important thing, undoubtedly. And I think it's now instilling that faith into the team that is still remaining there.
Yeah, I
The
agree.
question is who will be the showrunner for the next season.
Yeah,
That's-
who's your leader if your team is that great? Because
Yeah.
your team is amazing. Everyone we've talked to, everyone that's directed on the show,
Yes.
written on the show, are scholars of X-Men. But who is their captain?
Yeah.
So that'll be the interesting tone shift.
Yeah, yeah.
Because I think season 1's, immaculate. It's just what season 2 will feel like.
That is the big concern, is who's your leader. All right. Where are we at? Oh God, why'd someone bring up avocados?
Man,
that was
I
you.
No, oh yeah, I did. I did.
Yeah.
It was in there. Yep, I did this.
It's just like triggered a hunger and
I'm so hungry.
thirst.
Hunger and thirst.
Oh boy, yeah, we're gonna end this in 10 minutes. Coy. We got this. We got this. Coy.
We're ending the new ones in 10 minutes. This is not ending in 10 minutes. Let's be real here.
Sorry, Coy.
It's okay. I'm alive.
Imposter.
Yeah.
I remember Spider-Man 98, but then remembered we were getting freshman year and sophomore year.
This guy remembers.
I wouldn't mind Disney Plus being a home for Marvel animation and live action to movies. Well, we need some live action shows, don't we?
Yeah. And I also think we need, I don't know, I like all this animation coming, but I really hope they work on the quality of their live action too. Like, I think they should see this. X-Men 97 is absolutely a great green light for a whole new universe, but they should also go, hey, look at how much people are talking about the writing and analyzing the dialogue and character development in these animated characters. We should do that for our live action. Like, I don't think it should only elevate the medium. It should animate the whole platform.
The best part about X-Men 97, though, is unlike the other ones, that actually makes me want to pick up a comic book.
Right.
The other ones don't actually do that.
Doesn't feel like a comic book.
It doesn't feel like a comic, and they take as they rightfully should. They take a lot of liberties with what they want to do.
Mm-hmm.
And X-Men, though, is known that series is known for really adapting comics.
Mm-hmm.
And so when there is this inspiration behind it, like you were pointing out, like the X-Men 97 comic
sold out immediately.
Sold out for good reason because the show honors comics.
Yeah, and the comic felt like a tie into the show because it was like the first issue was like Jean telling Scott they were pregnant and stuff that the show didn't show, but it implied. So it's cool because the book feels unique, but it's also tying into that universe in a great way.
Yeah, so I don't think the other shows do that though.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
I agree. They just feel like a show.
The way how a lot of these shows, like if you look at like Game of Thrones, you think about these book shows like Game of Thrones or House of the Dragon, a lot of people watch those and then they go, I want to read the books now. I want to get caught up. I want to know what happens next. And weirdly, Marvel doesn't really do that, nor DC currently. And I think X-Men though is able to do that.
I agree.
And I hope I don't think that should be like their ultimate intention.
But it should be something to keep in mind.
It's something to keep because it only strengthens the brand.
100%.
It only
they own
strengthens
the
the
too.
interest.
It's so silly how they don't do what DC's doing.
Yeah.
DC's doing such a good job making sure the comics are front and center.
Yeah.
So yeah, agreed. Excited for Spider-Man, but definitely curious where it stands now with our hype for 98.
Bucky Barnes, the man who holds down our chats. Greg and Coy, your favorite superheroes. I'm Wolverine.
He's Wolverine himself.
My favorite superhero is, as cliche as it sounds, it is Batman.
I was going to say Batman and then Daredevil for you.
It's definitely those two.
Yeah, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Big guilt guy.
I'm a guilt-driven individual.
Spider-Man and Deadpool are my guys. I'm a big use humor to cloud your insecurities guy. So yeah, I mean, I think that's what's great about comic characters is they reflect our inner truths in a really external way. They're bright and shiny, and they are wearing their hearts on their sleeves. They even show their thoughts, like the speech bubbles and their emotions. Everything is like the truest core of who they are. So if you identify with the character, it really gives you a chance to look at why you're drawn to that character. What is it about the exposure of these deep truths that pulls you to them?
That's true. That's true. Anyone can be Batman. That's right, Normac.
Yeah.
Red Lion, thank you so much for the super, my friend. Okay, quick fun fact, Coy. Gonna make it super fast.
Okay.
Are you were Ross and Rachel really on a break? These are not fun facts, but just let's gauge your mind.
Yes, they were on a break, but that doesn't mean what Ross did was right.
I know they were on a break for like a
Yeah.
few hours.
Yeah. So yes, that question is weighted, but yes, I think that is it.
I mean, he didn't even consider because think about how that would make her feel,
right?
You know, like the second you're free, is like you want to hook up with someone else that you ever really want to be with me.
Were you waiting for this freedom?
Ross messed that up.
Oh, huge.
Right? I'm just
so
saying,
Ross is in the wrong.
I totally think Ross is the wrong.
I can say that they were on a break while also acknowledging Ross was the wrong one.
Yeah, it's just the action taken right away. Yeah, absolutely, I agree.
Big Friends fans here.
Red Lion.
We could really go into this.
Red Lion O says, Episode 5, Cable has his time travel cube in his metal arm. Bastion absorbs the arm in the finale. Was he responsible for the ending? Any theories? Was Cable? Bastion absorbs the arm in the finale.
So he absorbs the time travel cube.
Right. Was he responsible for the ending? Any theories?
Interesting. I wouldn't have assumed that. Now that you've said it, I do see that as an option for like a narrative they could do. I don't think we know who is responsible yet. I assume Apocalypse, but I like this theory. I hadn't even considered it.
Yeah.
Like I hadn't even thought about the idea that Bastion might have caused them to like slip through time.
So he might have won.
In a way, yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting. I like that. Hot take. Hadn't thought of it.
That's awesome.
I'm assuming Apocalypse, but I like your Bastion theory.
We're hungry.
We're hungry.
Taco Bell sounds
broken.
amazing.
Oh god, that day you came over, we got Taco Bell.
Oh,
like,
the
that was
best
such
day
a
ever.
like pilgrimage. It was such like a to Mecca.
Christian Unpronounceable, always here in our supers, and I appreciate that, my friend. Coy,
Would you rather go back in time to meet your ancestors or travel into the future to meet your descendants?
travel to the future.
Yeah, descendants me too. I feel like you can learn about your ancestors through word of mouth. You can't learn about your descendants.
And if I can mess up the timeline better, I'm worse.
Oh yeah.
But if I meet the descendants, I have a chance
It's
to
a one-way
fix it.
street.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I have
And
a
you can
chance to
bring
fix
back
it.
wisdom
Yeah,
and
yeah.
almanacs.
I could be like, oh damn, here's what went wrong, and bring back wisdom. And
Sports
then
gambling.
I could find out what the winning lottery numbers
Boom.
are, and then I'm able to
Make your family rich.
I'm able to have a lasting generational legacy.
A lot of Roth IRAs
Yeah.
for my family. Yeah,
How
I like
amazing
that.
would that be?
I'm into that. Descendants.
Christian Unpronounceable. Coy, I hope you get over the infection quickly. Sending good vibes. I don't. I think he deserves it.
Yeah.
Which is kind of like saying thoughts and prayers. LOL.
Christian, that's sassy because you know I hate that expression, so I appreciate you acknowledging it.
There's a Doctor Who. It's a whole thing to explain, but but it's the latest thing in Doctor
But he
Who.
has to.
But yeah, it's a negative thing. The thoughts.
I
and
think
prayers.
thoughts and prayers is such a wasteful, negative energy to put in the universe. Like, I'm not going to actually do anything, but I'm going to send you some thoughts and some prayers. It's just like the most, like, fappy thing.
No, I'm not a Pokemon. Coy, do you believe in soulmates?
I believe that there are people that you're more attuned to than others. I don't think there's like a one. I don't think a soulmate. I don't think a singular. But I do think there are people that you are more destined to be akin to. Just got here. Not sure if you brought it up from No, I'm not a Pokemon, but you guys have to see the Logan the Wolf fan film that just dropped.
Damn,
It's
people
incredible.
are really bringing this
Three
up.
of them. That is incredible. Yeah, I 3 is a lot considering.
Three's a lot to go in the super chats.
Yeah, people
to be
like-
that encouraging
that's-
is shows that I'm just happy they're making impact.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
I
very
would
much.
like permission from them first to make. How do I get permission?
Dude, that guy's last name is so metal. You could tell that's why he looks like the Northman. Look at that last
What
name.
is his email?
Reichenwald.
I would like, I want to get permission from him before I react to this fan film. I feel like that might just piss them off.
That's
Because some people are like, yeah, we love reactions, just do it anyway. And other times like, no.
don't
and I
show
don't-
the
and I-
whole movie.
And I want to respect it.
I respect that. They also
That's
only
why
have
we
10,000
stopped doing
subscribers
that.
so far.
I really changed my philosophy. I was like, there came a point where I kept asking, and then I
Then it felt weird.
realized, yeah, I'm tired. I'm not doing it.
Also, Christian Unpronounceable holding it down.
he doesn't have his email.
He's
listed.
he gave us a bunch of shouts on New Rockstars as well because he's in both chats a lot. So much love to Christian Unpronounceable.
Someone find me his email.
Yeah, Logan Wolf. He's just getting started, 10K followers, and he's like, getting this much hype off a video is great.
Thank you for the super chat here, Jane and the Autobots. Coy, Daryl or Rick?
For like a kid's name?
Walking Dead.
Oh, I didn't watch Walking Dead. I'm like, which
You don't know those characters?
Daryl was one of those Rooker, right?
That was Norman Reedus.
Reedus.
All right, next question then.
I would
okay.
not name my children either of those
What's
names.
the best compliment they ever received?
Oh, wow. I was a 2, but same from the same person, one physical, one mental. I was the first time I ever met Kevin Smith. He doesn't even remember the first time we met. The first time I met Kevin Smith, my buddy Matt was producing Fat Man before it left the Screen Junkie studio, and I met Kevin very briefly. Like literally, he would never remember this because it was like a 2-minute thing, but it meant the world to me because I've been a Kevin Smith fan for years, and I'm so honored we're friends now. But he shook my hand and looked at my shirt. and it was like a Hulk shirt, and I was like really in shape
that's
then.
cool.
And he said, "Oh, I didn't expect you to actually know comics because you look Affleck after he found out he was Batman." Like basically said I was like jacked like Batman. I was like, "Oh my god, my hero just said I was jacked." And then years later, we did an interview once we'd known each other, and I kept talking about Brody Bruce being an inspiration for me, and he very sincerely, in a way that only Kevin Smith can, put his hand on my shoulder and looked into my eyes with his like I'm always listening, like wonderful like compassionate eyes, and said like, "You're so much better a person than Brody Bruce. Please stop thinking you're Brody." And it meant so much to me that like a character that I grew up idolizing, I was like not that much of a prick.
Oh, that's
so like
great.
it was two compliments from Kevin and meant the world to me.
All right, guys. Thank you to all who have contributed to the super chats. We are going to turn them off to make sure we're going to disable them, but we want to get through the rest that have come in. I just need to find that section, Coy.
Want to read the next one while you do that?
No, because
Okay.
I got to go here to turn it off.
Very tricky. I can only do so much. Kevin Smith is great. I agree. ATL is cool.
I prefer Kevin Smith's more serious movies than I do his comedies, honestly.
Have you seen Clerks 3?
No, is that good? Actually,
Good God, it's so
It's
rough
actually
and
good?
great. Yeah, dude, it's some of his best work.
I'm not the There's something it's weird. You'd think this comedy would totally jive with me, but it kind of doesn't.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I'm a huge Kevin Smith guy, obviously, but I get it. Like I know that's not for everybody because it's so specific.
It just seems like it would be completely my taste buds.
What have you seen?
I've seen Clerks, I think. I've seen Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back. You know what? I saw it when I was really young. I've seen them when I was
I think
so young.
revisit them
I
because
think I
I
should-
think they would be your
Because
jam.
I'm like,
dude.
I have no idea what they. I'm saying that, but I'm like, have I just been telling myself that this whole
Also,
time?
they're self-referential, so if you don't remember stuff, you might like not like it because you feel like you're not getting it in a joke.
I've definitely seen Zack and Miri Mega Up, huh?
Yeah, but that one's like,
That was okay.
and it's separate. It's not in the Jay and Silent Bob stuff.
Here we are. You're okay, Coy.
Everything's fine.
Pull your shit together, Coy.
Everything's fine.
Chevy D. Which would you say is the saddest MCU death? In my opinion, it's Aunt May, due to the fact that she is Peter's only family. He doesn't ever get a chance to be with her. It is sadder than Tony's death.
Oh.
The saddest MCU death. It sounds weird to say. I feel like it's actually T'Challa because
the
of
movie just
the
lived in it.
reasons, but the movie's all about the loss of T'Challa.
Yeah, you live in that loss in a way that grief is a character.
I'm like that mid-credit scene or post-credit scene, I forget which one it is, that brought me to tears, you know?
Yeah, either Aunt May or T'Challa for me. Aunt May because I do feel like the weight of everything Peter's lost is embodied in that one person because of that.
Yeah.
Or T'Challa because they did like make. I think of silence differently because of Wakanda Forever. Like the weight of silence of losing someone. So yeah, one of those two.
The Aunt May death definitely is freaking heartbreaking.
Brutal, like so painful.
I didn't cry the first time Aunt May died.
Okay.
The reason being is because once in a while you attend a screening and there's usually a crier.
And you don't.
Sometimes there's a crier who just wants everyone to know
they can cry.
they're crying.
And you don't want that.
Like
You don't want to be that
they
person.
are. There was someone not far from us who was like, like they were like at a funeral session.
Yeah, like publicly, like they were just
like
out.
wailing.
Well, I like Yondu. That's a good one. Yondu was impactful.
And yeah, we totally skipped Shane, didn't we? Oh my God! Thank you for thank you, Shantae.
Oh, Shantae, thank you.
Shantae. So, do you think Captain America's got an Apple tracker on that shield? And people say we don't pay attention to the chat. So, do you think Captain America's got an Apple tracker on that shield, or is that shit just gone? No, he had it in the finale.
Yeah, he had that on his back.
We noticed he had the finale.
I made a joke, but then we noticed it was on his back. He's got it. No Apple tracker required. He might have one though. That might be how we found it.
That was the most dick move Rogue did all season.
So funny. Yeah, all the things Rogue did. That's the one. That's the one.
You know, I think Rogue is so badass in this season, and I love how they have used the death of Gambit to catapult her character even more, and to deal a lot more with her darkness, to make it more interesting. Because a lot of times in these shows, you can actually make a death feel kind of glossed over. You know what I mean? You know,
Yeah.
It's like, oh, it was sad, and you got a little bit of mourning, and then
a
death.
joke.
And it's done. Yeah. But Gambit's death has sort of resonated throughout the season.
Yeah, the remember it moment when she yells. Oh,
Yeah, she owns it. Oh, really? It's in honor of him.
yeah. I can't wait to talk to Charlie about that.
That was such a beautiful moment.
Yeah.
It's crazy because Gambit wasn't like heavily featured throughout, but man, was this episode a massive impact.
And how cool he was when we got him, and then the character's so cool that like it really impacted with limited screen time.
I was reading about I was watching this video that was about what the Gambit movie could have been. It's been through so many iterations over 10 years with Channing Tatum.
Yeah.
And I felt like we really could have gotten something really special with that.
He's one of that and the Multiple Men movie are like two. Actually, no, that and the Kitty Pryde movie, the Christmas Kitty Pryde movie, are the two big losses of the Fox merger. I think
Gambit got fridged.
he got it, but it helped.
That was such a great moment.
Someone saying the Rogue got no butt no more. We had butt redemption for like 10 minutes on the finale.
Chevy D. Did you like a fun fact, Coy? Did you like Rogue's butt?
I thought it improved by the end.
Yeah.
She found the squat
That
rack.
should be a character arc.
As you get more powerful and more empathetic.
Yeah.
That booty though.
I've been doing so many butt workouts. I cannot get my butt
I keep
big.
showing you stuff.
I've been doing so many.
Have you tried strapping like something that has
Yeah.
resistance and then
I
pulling
bought
your
it.
leg back?
With the cable pull?
Yeah, cable pull with your leg.
Yeah.
Greg just can't. That's interesting. Do you feel like soreness? Like do you
No.
know how to activate your glutes? Like do you know how to make your butt feel sore?
No.
That's the issue. You need to learn how to activate that like posterior chain.
I do okay, interesting.
Because if you think about it, like you can physically feel when you're activating certain muscles in your upper body, right?
Yeah.
That's when you're working them. If you can't feel like you're activating them, it's just not fired correctly.
Yeah. Thanks, Coy.
I'll help you out. I'll teach him butt stuff. Again, a lot of message boards. Real happy about this episode.
Sometimes I feel just the when we're talking, I'm like, man, we must be so boring. and then I watch the back, and I'm like, this is entertaining shit I think I've ever done.
Yeah, sometimes I'm like, why do people watch us? And then other times I'm like, what a weird pair of people. Like, what an odd duo. Like, look at all this. Do you know how to activate your glutes? LOL. I know how to make my butt sorry talk about. Like, this is fantastic. And it was unprompted. Oh, wow. Yeah, you didn't know. If you want to activate a muscle group, you want to feel time over tension. So the more you can feel the tension and the more you can elongate the time, whether that's moving the weight slower or, holding resistance back on the weight, that's going to cause the gains because you want to cause that separation in the muscle itself. So you need to feel the burn. No pain, no gain. If you're not activating your glutes, they ain't growing.
Oh my God, what have I done?
What have you done?
All right. Did you see Olivia's name in the chat? I didn't see it.
No? Hi, Olivia.
Okay.
Glutes for Craig.
Hashtag glutes for Greg. I'm trying.
Oh,
it's like I got
that's
a
so funny.
strong butt.
Yeah. You do a lot of you do a lot of
it's
karate and
strong,
stuff. Yeah.
but it's not. But you
But it
know how
won't
you
grow.
got that arch with the little bump.
Yeah,
You know,
you want that
you got the
comic book butt.
curve. You got
Right.
the curve, and I'm like, I don't have a curve.
Because you need to do higher weight, lower reps. But if you're not feeling pain there, it's not growing anyway. Because you want the growth, and that's going to
Yeah.
be like higher weight.
Yeah,
But you need to get the form right so you can get the pain in there. And it's got to be like deep. You want to feel it like right above that like coccyx bone. Like you want to feel like straight down your leg between your hammy.
I'm gonna learn what a coccyx bone is. And Nalo, he's got two in here. Oh man, I love the two. Let me just see. What. Okay, she didn't message me.
She wants Greg to grow his butt. Too.
All right, cool.
This is for her.
Inalo, what's your favorite movie from your birth year? For me, it's either Matrix or Fight Club. What
you're
came out
99.
in 1990?
99 is the best year in movies in my lifetime, in my opinion. 1999 is literally the best year in cinema since
What
I've been
movies came out in 1990? What the hell are all these movies?
alive. 90 was a decent.
Oh damn! I got a lot of.
Yeah.
I got a lot. Oh my God! Wait. Oh no! Wait. Oh no! Was Goodfellas 1990?
Yeah.
Oh, it was. Oh, it's definitely Goodfellas then, because that's one of my favorite movies of all time.
You know what's funny? It's not my favorite, but the movie The Deadpool came out in '88.
Did it?
I got to pick my favorite.
Oh yeah. No, for me it's easily Goodfellas. Wow. I was born the same year as Goodfellas.
That's pretty cool.
That's really cool. So there's a fun fact for you.
Beetlejuice, Willow, but like I like those movies, but they wouldn't be like my favorite. So I gotta like see what my favorite would be. This is a tricky question.
The emotional energy of this live stream has been through so many ebbs and flows today.
Yeah, that's real. That's real.
What I just said?
Yeah.
Oh.
The emotional energy of this live stream ebbs and flows.
It's just gone from like we're trying to do it live to just fucking laughing our asses
Big
off.
fan of Big.
Big, yeah, it's a fun movie.
Big fan of Big. Big fan of Cocktail, the Tom Cruise movie.
Uh-huh.
I think out of these, either Twins or Big. Twins is pretty like
Twins is a good one.
iconic. Bambi, pretty heavy. Rain Man's great. I'm gonna go Big. I feel like Big is like my energy
Okay.
because I want to be a child adult forever.
That'd be
I wanna
nice.
Childlike wonder, not childish.
I want to get a piano.
Just step on it.
Yeah.
A little slide.
No, I want an actual piano and then do the Tom Hanks thing.
You ever seen The Night Before?
Yes.
That piano scene, the big
Yes.
recreation,
Yeah.
immaculate. But yeah, you should get that. You could like find a place in your place for a piano. Step on it. I don't know if Olivia'd love it.
Oh yeah, no, she'd hate it. I'd do it right before she wakes up.
Good morning.
Yeah.
Learn her favorite song.
I would drop kick it.
But like, learn a favorite song that she now hates because played. Oh, Days of Thunder came out in 1990. I love that movie. Have you ever seen Days of Thunder?
No, there's so
So
many.
rubbing is racing.
Looking at this list, I'm like, there's so many more movies to add onto our movie reaction list.
Days of Thunder is literally like Top Gun of NASCAR, dude.
Sometimes I think I've gone through everything I
I've
could
seen
go through.
all movies.
Yeah, and I'm like, there's so many more. I haven't
Wait, the
seen.
channel has only begun to
It's
fight.
only begun.
Yes. Air America's so weird. Mel Gibson, Downey Jr. team up.
And now, I would love to see Nicolas Cage's Ghost Rider and Deadpool. It's one of my favorite comic book movies. That's one of your favorite comic book
Good
movies.
for you. I like that weird cut.
That's a fun one. I think Ghost Rider should totally appear in X-Men. You know what I loved in Old Man Logan? They had this thing in the Old Man Logan comic book where a lot of these gangs were like, what if these supers had like bad grandchildren, you know, like they had like the Hulks.
Yeah, the Hulk's grandkids
They had the
are like
Ghost Riders.
inbred. Yeah.
And I think that would be I think if they go to the future.
Oh, that's why you want them in X-Men.
That would be a fun thing to
the
actually
legacy
bring.
of heroes.
Because I don't think Deadpool and Wolverine are. They might do that.
Yeah.
I don't think they're going to go all out like that, but I think that would be a fun thing for the animation medium to do.
I like that. That's fun.
Have the Hulks, have the Ghost Riders.
Have the legacy of these characters. Yeah.
Well, I think them having to go up against Ghost Rider. I think having what's that called? Midnight Suns. Having the Midnight Suns make an appearance in the X-Men world would be cool.
I can't wait for Midnight Suns.
I've never wanted more like animated property shit.
That's how good X-Men 97 was.
Because one thing that DC was always doing, and it's the same fucking people who worked on it.
Right. I talked to the
yeah.
DC. I'm like, oh, wait, you did the best stuff.
Because the DC and one thing I've been really wanting that Marvel to do is do what DC did, which is adapting specific storylines. And I think that's the thing is X-Men was the only thing that really did it.
Yeah.
You know, they at 97 actually adapted the specific storylines. And that's made me go, I just wish they would do that with like more graphic novels.
And
I'm
I
like,
want to see that in movies. I mean, you texted me the other day. Like, why don't they just make a graphic novel and a movie? I'm like, they should.
Yeah.
Make it linear.
Dre Blazer. Here we go. Here we go. See, he's right there with me.
Blazers in.
Thank you so much, Dre Blazer.
Good tangent.
I would love to see Ghost Rider, Iron Fist, Luke Cage, and Fantastic Four in X-Men 97 Season 2. That's the thing with all these teases is now they want
everything.
Now we want everything.
Yeah, and now you want to hear it. They want to be characters.
It was actually smart to not make them have most of them have a lot of lines.
Or any lines.
That
That way,
at all.
it's like the impact is just visual, and you move on because it makes the world expand, but it doesn't feel like it shortens the X-Men's. Like it's the importance of the X-Men isn't belittled.
But damn, whenever there was cameos, people lost their shit.
Internet loves it. Also, it felt great to see a shared Marvel universe, not a Marvel Cinematic Universe, a shared Marvel universe.
There's such a level of tangibility with having them appear in there.
Yeah.
And it's anime. Because think about it, guys. What's so great about the cameos in X-Men 97, like, step outside of yourself and just think about this. All they did was someone drew them.
And we went, I have so much association.
Yeah,
But that's comics too.
But like with cameos in movies and shows,
an actor
you
shows
gotta
up.
get the
is
fucking
lit.
actor. There's a whole thing that's involved with getting them to appear. And all they have to do here
Don't even
is
have a voice actor.
let's just draw them in here.
We have the licensing rights.
And we're like, oh my God.
And in comics, that's the same thing. They don't even have to talk in comics. You can see them at a wedding, and you're like, oh my God, they're here.
But you have to be so invested in it that it would excite you to see them, that you feel like there's something real happening.
You feel connected because of the image.
Yeah, and that shows the impact of X-Men 97.
Totally
Because
agree.
What If could do that, honestly, and I don't think it makes as much of an impact. But this This does. Electric cameo, cool, yeah. Well, we kind of did have we had a Mr. Fantastic cameo.
We did.
But I think Fantastic Four, I don't think they would let that happen until the Fantastic Four movie comes out.
I think they got to build that brand first.
Chevy D. Coy's X-Men video is now my favorite Real Rejects video.
Hey, thank you.
No offense, Greg, but listening to how much Coy cares about movies is so relatable.
Oh, Greg actually gave me the note of like, why do you want to talk about these movies? And I kept thinking that with every one of those little splurbs. Also, fun fact, it's 40 minutes. The original edit was like 55. And I couldn't even find the places where they cut it out, and that's much love to Prepper. The fact that Prepper put together a 40-minute video that was a 55-minute shoot, and I couldn't feel the 50 minutes that was taken out is like so appreciated. So Prepper really like assembled that, and I'm really proud of it. It's honestly my favorite video I've done here, and one of my favorite things I've ever done as a host, because it is my passion for stuff, and it was so well put together. So a lot of love to Greg and Prepper for the folks that assembled all of my thoughts and put it in one little package for you guys. And thank you. Like, share that video, get that word out, because it's a big time commitment. It's also a big editing commitment. So I want more people to see it. So send it far and wide. And thank you, truly, from the bottom of my heart. I'm proud of that one.
I worked really hard on the thumbnail too.
You did.
And I also I spent a couple hours on the end myself.
I said Greg and Prepper.
I'm just saying.
Just now, seconds ago.
Just
Greg and Prepper.
I mean, you said that.
said
I asked
Prepper.
you questions or whatever, but
It's fine. Greg was there the whole time producing, making it sing.
But yeah.
I just said Greg and Prepper. Didn't even thank myself, which is now what I'm doing.
Well, you always thank yourself.
It's assumed. Pretty proud. Thank you. Sincerely, I appreciate it.
Tanya Taylor. Hey, Tanya. Thank you so much. Tanya Tyler.
Got you.
Hey, Tyler. Who is Natasha Lyonne playing in Fantastic Four?
It'd be so funny if she's Herbie. The voice of the robot. Like that gravelly smoker voice she has coming out of a robot.
Who's Natasha Lyonne?
She's from Poker Face. She's from American Pie.
She the Russian doll girl?
Yeah.
Okay.
She's from Blade Trinity. She was blind then. Be funny if she played.
And she got eyes now?
She got them, too.
She got sight now?
She got a pair of them.
Yeah.
She played blind. She wasn't blind.
Oh.
I
was going to say, that's amazing.
Sometimes you do enough work playing a seeing person, you can see.
It's law of attraction.
Boom. Just manifested eyes.
That was method acting right there.
She decided today. I see. I don't know who we offended just now, but I'm sure lots of people. But I really hope she's either Ben Grimm's love interest, because she's a fantastic character, or Herbie, because that'd be funny as hell.
Oh God. Yeah, that's great.
Greg doesn't know Fantastic Four as
I don't know enough about Fantastic Four. It's such a good tribute.
Thank you. I could not remember her name. Alice Masters. My brain is foggy. Which is another great character in the MCU. Foggy. Alice Masters is Ben Grimm's wife, and she is such a great, interesting, like captivating character. She's a teacher. She's like super empathetic. She really grounds the Fantastic Four. I think it'd be fun if you had like this smoker voice coming out of that.
My wife is going to Canada
right now
in February.
Oh, that makes more sense.
And she didn't even invite me.
Ouch. We'll go to Taco Bell.
Yeah, it's really.
It's like going to Canada.
Yeah.
We'll go to Mexico, but just
I've never been to Canada.
Pretty cool. You should go to Vancouver, Toronto.
I think Canadians are a bunch of dicks.
They're so nice.
They're the worst.
If I could afford Vancouver, I'd move there.
They just beat up homeless people on the streets
all the time. They're like, "We got healthcare. Use it." Punch a guy.
God, yeah.
Worst.
I just really don't like Canadians. I feel like they're super scary.
Mm-hmm.
I think our live stream should just be this, just
us talking about
casually hanging out.
Discussing hot takes, glute burning in Canada.
This
essential.
This is the strangest.
I feel like I'm on drugs.
We've had weird live streams. We've had like crazy streams. This is the weirdest.
I keep forgetting I'm here. I literally just looked out the window and saw a white wall and went, "Where am I?"
The zigzags here have been obnoxious.
I had a full out of body "Where am I?" 2 questions ago, and I was like, let's see how this goes. I wonder if there's a moment where the audience can see where my body left my mind and my mind left my body, because it happened.
Brandon Jed. Yo, mofo.
Yo.
He says, "Hey, guys, what do you think of the new Fantastic Four castings that have been coming out?" Boring. Who cares?
Wow, what a harsh message that Brandon Jed didn't say.
Who cares, Brandon Jed?
Malkovich is exciting. It's like super exciting.
I think that's really cool.
I hope he plays the mailman. The mailman's an iconic actual Fantastic Four
I
character.
hope he just plays
I
a
hope he plays
mailman.
a mailman.
Yeah.
I really love Paul Walter Hauser, the man and the actor. Like
You
I'm
just
a
touched
big-
our feet for a
I
second.
did.
Did you feel
I
that?
did a little rub by.
Feel that?
I did a little drive by.
You guys can't see.
I
on
did like a
camera.
3-toe to
Yeah.
3-toe. It happened. Paul Walter Hauser rubs feet well. No, he's a really good actor. Is also like a good dude, and I really am excited he's part of the MCU. I think he's playing Mole Man, but we'll see.
Yeah.
The cast is great, man. If this was an A24 film with this cast, all the cinephile bros would be like, yeah. But since it's a Marvel movie, I feel like we haven't gotten hype yet. But it's a really solid cast.
We don't need rest.
Olivia, I'm not contagiously sick. I have an infection in my skull, and I made sure it was contagious before I came over.
I can't get over this. Coy.
I have just an infection in my
So-
skull, but I'm not contagious. I made sure.
Jesus Christ.
Unless you touch my eyeballs. Don't touch my eyeballs.
This is so stupid.
If you touch my
you
eyeballs,
shouldn't be
you'll
here.
get it.
Oh, fuck.
Otherwise,
Oh,
all's
no.
well.
I hope Coy. We have. By the way, we're gonna start mixing and matching the live stream hosts because.
Oh, yeah. Let the record show.
Yeah.
I came in.
Yeah, we're gonna start mixing and matching them, not because of this, but because it's something we want to do.
This was just a good impetus.
But I hope Coy shows up next week with an oxygen tank. You really should go home, man.
No! The people want content!
They need to ask me about Fantastic Four.
What do
again.
I think about Paul Walter Hauser? I love you guys.
He's had this infection for years.
It's fine. It hasn't manifested deeper yet. Metastasized. Malignant.
That 1/3 entertainment is saying. I just move on. Just go fucking move on from the conversation. Do you need water?
No, I'm good.
Oh God, I reject.
The Fault in Our Stars, but both love interests are played by Coy.
I reject. Love you guys. Favorite Deadpool quote.
Man. Hold on. I've got a list.
I can't get sick from Coy. Unless if I have to get ear infection.
He'd have to touch my eyeballs. The only thing contagious is my eyeballs because the infection overran my sinuses and it actually got up into my ducts. So
Yeah.
I've been waking up every morning with my eyes sealed shut with mucus.
If you were contagious, your girlfriend would
Would be so
undoubtedly
sick.
be
She'd
super
be
sick.
so
Yeah, but I
sick.
just saw her yesterday. She ain't sick. at
Yeah,
all.
she's chilling. No, I made triple sure I'm not contagious. I'm not a monster. I've been on like 5 networks this week. Man, from the movies, I really love when his hands broke and then he goes, "All the dinosaurs feared the mighty T-Rex." From the comics, a lot of the Jerry Duggan stuff in the President's Run, I talk about it all the time. But The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly is super funny and dark. I can't just name a quote with Deadpool, but I think from the movies, because it's probably what you're referencing, all the dinosaurs feared the mighty T-Rex. I wish I was smoking. Everybody thinks I'm smoking. That seems so nice. I can't smoke either. When I smoke, I get so paranoid. But I
Yeah.
wish it was like self-induced.
Yeah, why don't you just close your eyes the rest of the stream?
Oh, let me try that. Read me questions.
We'll get through this, Coy.
Woo!
Logan Merrick, he's saying they need the X-Men 97 animation style and more of the content Marvel drops. It's so beautiful.
It is truly beautiful. When I could see, it was lovely. Yeah, I think it's beautiful. I think it also shows like a passion. It's got like a lot of like energy and flavor for all the mutations. It's also a really good like the Capcom fighting style is so cool, but it wouldn't work if the animation wasn't vibrant but clear. It's never like if you pause it, you can tell exactly what's going on, and the motion's never too fast to be disorienting. So I agree. It is fantastic.
Yeah, close your eyes now, Coy. I'll talk. They had in his interview, the director was talking about how there's this element in the intro where Rogue tosses one of the Sentinels, and in the original animated show, they without running it by him, the director of it, they made a cut there. They made 2 shots, and he wanted it 1 shot, and the directors went back and they honored that by like, let's make it 1 shot. And they kind of did that for a lot of the story,
I can't wait for that interview to come out because I think it's like pretty enlightening, but also like the love for the show. I want people to hear and see the people that did it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All right, sweet.
agreed.
Alex Dom. Bucky, we gotta kick someone out. We gotta kick someone out.
Oh, I like kicking people out.
Kick someone out, Bucky.
Who are we kicking out?
Someone just insulted me, and I gotta
Kick him out.
I gotta kick him out.
They're dead to you.
I gotta kick him out. Cool.
Yeah, I've been not even focusing on the negative. There's been the occasional
You
negative.
really can't really see the screen
That's
right now.
Am I even here? Who am I?
Alex Dom. Hey, I moved from Mexico to Ohio. Holy shit, that's a move.
Yeah, that's a culture shock, I imagine.
Found out we were having a boy. What?
Hey, congratulations.
Girlfriend wants to circumcise. Okay. Says if not, he will get bullied. Any advice? Are you guys cut or uncut? Is this a real question?
I think they're trolling, but there's money.
But we should answer seriously.
Yeah. I don't know. I've never been in a position of like my junk being public enough to be bullied. I don't know. I don't look at a lot.
Are you cut?
Yeah, I was born in the 80s in America. I feel like that's more of the standard.
I was cut.
Yeah.
I'm cut.
But like I don't know if
Did it myself.
Yeah. Took time.
Like a man.
Took any you had a big that book Hatchet. It's about Greg.
Yeah.
That book Hatchet we all had to read, that was his story.
That's why it's 2 inches long.
Yeah. Happily married man.
Yeah.
I've never had any concern of like alienation though, so I don't really not help with the bullying. I just know that most people in my demo,
Yeah.
like I only have like my
Snip, snip.
yeah, if that helps. I don't know if that helps. I think you should do whatever you feel like you would want your parents to have done. So if you have regrets, then don't, and if you are happy, then do. Do you know what I mean? Like go with your heart.
James Jennings, John Krasinski in Deadpool and Wolverine.
Yeah,
You think so?
I think so. Briefly, I think John Krasinski and Ryan are really good friends. They're promoting a movie right now together and seem like they've known each other for years. I think If is largely a charming spectacle because of Ryan and John Krasinski's relationship in shorthand. So I think it'd be really like it'd be nice to have that little joke.
We're just powering through this for you, Coy. We got
But
this.
I'm giving
Coy.
good answers.
I know you're doing great.
Thank you. I'm
You should
trying.
come in here sick more often.
Yeah.
Deadshot, thank you so much. It's saying after the show I need more Gambit. Gambit has reached my top 3 favorite X-Men. I haven't cried for
Nice.
something animated in so long. This broke me.
I'll let you handle this one.
I have spent myself very much convinced that he would come back via time travel, but I am one of those viewers who often goes into denial about things. I have that association where I'll give you an idea. When Ned Stark in Game of Thrones died, spoiler, I spent 3 seasons thinking he's going to come back as a wolf. I mean, because as I was catching up when everyone else was already there, and I was I was years behind.
Yeah.
And I was like, he comes back as like a wolf or something, right?
Gotta happen.
Like I
This is
just
the only way.
convinced myself there was this element in there.
I love that.
Because I just couldn't cope with him dying. And I did that as well. Yeah, I had the same exact thing with Gambit, but Boy DeMeo on Twitter made it abundantly clear
He
there's
was
going to be
dead.
no time travel shenanigans.
Which I respect that he just like nipped that in the bud.
Because right away we were done. I was like, oh, well, I'm not going to be sad because, he's going to come back via time travel.
Yeah.
And so I didn't actually buy into the death,
I love that you had an entirely different Game of Thrones experience than anyone else because of your timing. That's great.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Raccoon Shampoo. Haven't seen you in here in a while.
Hey,
Good to see your
welcome
name
back,
again, buddy.
Raccoon.
Says, who would you cast Ralph Fiennes as in DC and Marvel?
He's one of my Xavier castings. I think he'd be a
Oh.
good Xavier because he's got
Oh.
right. He's got an intelligence. He's got a menace to him. He's got like this underlying professorial quality.
Oh,
He's
that's
got a
interesting.
commanding voice.
That's really interesting.
Yeah, he's one of my Xaviers. At DC, I think he'd be a good Sinestro. I think he'd be good at being like a commanding leader, but also like there's a maliciousness to him that I really think is interesting. I think Xavier's my big one, but DC I'd have to think on a little bit if that helps. You got anybody? He's also funny, like in Bruges and stuff, so that's why Xavier could work.
I'm just trying to think of one that's not like, because he is a type, isn't he?
Very much so.
He is a type, and like I love him in Grand Budapest Hotel because it's so
Oh, he's
against
so
type.
funny.
That's so against what he's normally like.
Yeah, he's hilarious.
But he usually plays like menacing.
Yeah, he's got such a sneer to him.
I can't think of anyone.
But that's
else.
why I like him as Xavier, not
Yeah.
Magneto, because Xavier has like he's so good, but there's an undercurrent.
Yeah.
So yeah, Xavier's my big one.
Jeff Carroll.
4.
4 of them. Oh my God. Okay, we gotta make sure we do this. X-Men 97, some of the best MCU content of all time, especially the writing. It hugely improved 2 characters I struggled with from the original series. We will go back to you. Okay, Cyclops was the older brother who was mad. He had to take care of his younger siblings, which partly makes sense, but they never gave him emotional vulnerability, not even with Jean. That made him hard to be invested in. X-97 gave him more emotion and depth than almost anyone. That is true. Also, in the original, Charles was always getting knocked out of his chair and they wouldn't use his powers. With the Shi'ar lesson and taking over Magneto, X-97 showed his real power. This show, remember it. Nicely done. Also related, all episodes of Bear Season 3 drop on my B-Day, June 27th, so I know what I'm doing. I'm so glad you brought that up, because for me, as someone who did revisit the show before, like I literally finished my rewatch like a couple days before we started X-Men 97, and going into it, I did find that, it's even their character improvement, the emotional focus is so much stronger. You know, and it makes sense. Like, one thing I never really considered, too, is not just the fact that it's modern time and animation and all these mediums, and especially on, like, streaming has evolved so much. X-Men also had to adhere to commercial breaks back then, versus here it's a
It's hard
streaming
to keep
show.
Emotional through lines if you're like gunning to cut to Kellogg's.
Yeah, so you have to even tend more so to children, even though it was really mature for a children's show.
Still aired during kids' TV.
Exactly. It was still skewed towards there. Where here, this feels more like upper teens, if anything, you know? Like, it's like some of the shit, I'm like, there's no way kids would understand these words.
Which is brilliant.
Yeah.
I love that
Yeah.
they're doing that.
And I do think in terms of the emotional consideration, there were like these tropes about a lot of the characters that they actually really stayed away from, especially with the women, with the kind of the way their voices project or the yelling that they would do, the
Jean
screaming.
fainted way less.
Fainted way less. Storm with her, like they really dialed a lot of that back. And just overall with the characters, I feel like they gave a lot more nuance, especially for Cyclops. Cyclops and Jean could not agree more. I was like, you're always telling me in the show they're together, but I never really felt the romance, but I really felt them as a couple here in this show. So I full-heartedly agree on everything you actually said there. I was way more invested in the characters emotionally than I had been watching for 5 seasons for the entire original run.
I also think that we as audiences are more apt to connect to characters in a different way. I think there's an emotional maturity in audiences that just is different in the 90s. And I think that we also have an association with these characters that's grown from 30 years. Whether you watch it or not, there's a pop culture awareness of these characters. So you could do more deep emotional work because you already have an association, no matter how deep.
True. And I appreciate that's a huge super chat. It's like $40, man.
June,
Thank you so much.
also, what a great month in TV. I'm excited for The Bear as well.
All right. Our $2,000 pesos equating to $2 USD. Man, that's right. I remember going to Mexico and feeling like I was the richest person in the world.
A whole bucket of Coronas was like $5.
It is so cheap out there when you the US dollar. It's crazy.
We should go get some like tacos.
We should go to Mexico.
We get avocados cheap there. We're talking avocados. I'm up for the trip. Look at me. I'm ready. Let's go. Let's walk.
I mean, you look like you just got back from Tijuana. Hello, guys.
TJ's always kind to me.
Saying hello from Argentina. You know what my favorite part is about this? We saw the 2000 super chat come in, and we were like, what's ARS? We got to Google this. And we took all this time to figure it out. All we had to read was
the actual
saying hello from Argentina.
We Googled
That's all we had to do.
It's the first sentence. All right.
Hope you all are doing well. As a 90s kid, I got to say, X-Men 97 has been a hell of a ride. It's been a while since I felt this way with Marvel content. Amazing 9 weeks with the mutants and you guys reacting. Love you guys. I hope we get Spider-Man 98. It made me reflect on the WandaVision days. Like, WandaVision, to me, was still one of the best television experiences I've ever had, especially here in this channel. But because outside of the channel, I was talking about WandaVision with everyone until the next episode came out. It was the primary topic. And X-Men 97 did not reach that height. And I don't even think Loki quite got there. Like the people might prefer Loki the show overall, but in terms of conversation that
Buzz.
just did not stop, WandaVision, there was nothing quite like that, you know?
I also think that what WandaVision did was it had cliffhangers that allowed the conversation to go so big and broad. Like
Yeah.
we've been talking about Mephisto for 6 years or 5 years or whatever now. Insane. Like and I think Loki is my favorite show, but it was kind of a singular group of people. It wasn't everyone at the water cooler. So X-Men felt like it was a lot bigger. And I also I love that I've loved X-Men since I was a kid, but I was too young to really have those conversations with X-Men 92 because like I was 4.
Mhm.
So this felt really cool to celebrate the X-Men in a second wave. Like in the 2000s, the X-Men movies are always big, but it was never comic nerds. It was just people talking about the X-Men movies. This felt like comic nerds and regular TV viewers all gathering around for the first time. And I had such an incredible 9 weeks with you guys. And like, I don't know, it's always fun when I see like the social media numbers uptick because of positivity. Like I'm very focused on not being negative, and I wasn't negative, and I still had like stuff change because people wanted to join in the conversation.
Mhm.
So I love when shows can do that because people want to share together.
I full-heartedly agree. Normac with a very fantastic super chat saying, yippee!
Yippee!
Normac saying, would love to hear some of your favorite films, Coy and Greg, if you have the time. Good to see you guys on another stream. Drive with Ryan Gosling. I was obsessed with that movie. It got me obsessed with Ryan Gosling because I had only seen, I've always said this around the times, but I saw The Notebook, and then I skipped all the movies that were making him famous, and then I saw Drive without having seen the trailer in the theaters, and I fell in love with that movie within the first few minutes. And I saw it 3 times in the theaters. I think it's an absolutely brilliant, beautiful film, and what a body language performance. And it's kind of interesting to see this trajectory Ryan Gosling's been on, where he's gone from like the guy who doesn't talk with the stare to now he's like a funny guy.
Yeah, he's so funny.
I know,
He's so funny.
He was always funny. He'd done comedies before, but now he's like primarily leaning into
All
the
dialogue.
humor now.
Yeah.
And so I really like that. And Drive, Terminator 2. I know we've had our debates about
Yep.
that. Terminator 2. The
That video's still not even
Matrix.
out yet. There's a
It's
video
not.
coming from me that deals with that very conversation.
The Matrix. I love. I would say, and God, The Dark Knight. Undoubtedly, The Dark Knight. And I would actually put Logan there as one of my favorites. I think about Logan a lot. I like randomly think about that movie.
So good. Fight Club is my favorite of all time. The Matrix is depending on the day. So Fight Club, Matrix kind of switch off 1 and 2. In Bruges and Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, Dance 3 and 4. Mad Max Fury Road is up there.
I was gonna say I need to watch Furiosa like a couple more times.
Yeah,
I have thought about that movie every day since I
that
saw
makes
it.
me so happy.
And I haven't had a movie like that in years where I cannot stop thinking about it. And so I'm like, is this going to be one of my favorite movies of all time?
That makes me so happy to hear. I haven't seen it
I
yet.
just
so
don't want, I don't want to overhype it, but I love
like,
I
goddamn.
really love it. Yeah, I love that movie a lot.
Across the Spider-Verse, Good Will Hunting, Jurassic Park,
It's a great one.
Winter Soldier, The Departed, Crazy Stupid Love, Paddington 1 and 2, Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas, Warrior, The Town, Lethal Weapon, Tropic Thunder.
Oh, I love Collateral.
That's a great movie.
Yeah.
I've given 25 films 5 stars in the history of films. Those are the 25.
Hereditary, I think, is one of my favorites too.
Really?
Yeah.
I haven't seen a lot of your favorites.
You haven't seen Hereditary?
No?
Oh my God,
It's a horror
it's,
movie, right?
it's a very fun movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great place right now. I should watch some horror.
Jacob Beach wanted to say happy Saturday. Thank you so much for a very generous super chat to you fellas. Went through a rough breakup last year.
Oh, I'm sorry, man.
God, breakups suck. And your video comic Rex got me through it. That's why you just got to settle. You know, settle.
That's the trick.
You watching Olivia? You settled for me.
I mean, he already said he cut half
She
it off.
settled.
She settled.
I did not.
She settled for half off.
I upgraded. She settled. Stupid
do.
woman.
Yeah.
Stupid. You lucked out. I lucked out. You never mind. Comics have always. That's why you settle, because I can't even get the phrase right.
Yeah. He's doing great talking.
Comics
Which is his job.
have always gotten me through tough times. Clever way to get your words in there. And to see people love comics as much as I do is great. That's amazing to hear, man. I like hearing that. I've only yeah, we did turn off the super chats. I've only recently begun to only within the past year have begun to understand what it is this channel does offer people, honestly, and I appreciate that. Like now, I can actually receive a compliment like that, whereas before I was like, "Well, we're not like doctors or anything." That's how my mind always went, and well, we're not.
No, we're not.
But however, I understand what it is. Like, it brings me joy to do. Like for the first time, honestly, it took a long time to naturally get there. Where I'm like, oh, I do feel like, especially when I meet people in person, it is.
It reminds you why.
Yeah, it's a really great feeling.
Comic got through every dark time in my life. I've read comics since I could read. They taught me to read, and anytime I felt like, be it a breakup or a family loss or a friend loss or life just coming at you, I think comics and movies have been the things that have been there for me all the time. I've had pretty consistently bad luck with like. I don't trust easy. Like I just don't like open up to people, but I open up to comics and movies. So I've always found that pop culture and art was like a great receptor of emotion.
Yeah, very true. MD, TV shows have done that more for me than movies.
Interesting.
Because
I don't connect to TV as much.
I think, like for Friends, that really saved me a
Oh,
lot.
Friends was the exception.
Because you latch on to
Characters for 10 years.
Yeah.
I just don't generally find the long form as I don't connect to it as much. I like having a journey with an experience, and then
It's really hard for me to do a last season.
interesting. 'Cause you're saying bye.
Yeah, it's really hard for me. I haven't finished Curb. I'm like 5 episodes away, and I've put it on hold for a long time. I never finished Barry.
Wow.
I'm a few episodes away.
Yeah.
I have a hard time just finishing a show.
Interesting.
When I'm right there at the end, I'm like, oh man, I'm not ready to see
I
it.
saved Kingdom for like 3 years. I watched the first 2 seasons of Kingdom, and I saved the 3rd season for a while. Have you ever seen Kingdom?
No.
UFC show, Jonathan Tucker.
That's great. MD, hey guys. Hey, big fan guys, question. Yeah. Hey, big fan guys, question. Hey, big fan guys, question.
Hey, big fan, guys.
What am I doing?
Question.
With Cable, his arm, he doesn't have the virus anymore. I was really trying to spend way too much time trying to figure that out. With Cable, his arm, he doesn't have the virus anymore. And name one positive attribute from Fantastic Four 2015. I really loved, he doesn't have the virus anymore. That's true. And hey, he interviewed Rob Liefeld, and he had amazing things to say about
Josh Brolin? Cable?
Cable's portrayal in X-Men 97. Fantastic Four, I think the first half is not bad. I mean, it's like not amazing, but I actually like.
I talked about this like a week ago, didn't we?
I like the direction of it.
We randomly brought this up. That pre-time jump, that movie's not bad.
Yeah. They had the whole and Josh. I actually watched a video about that recently too, and that the massive studio interference came in that form, and apparently Voschenk was a total dick to the actors.
Yeah,
like,
that's what I've heard.
Massive. Like apparently Miles Teller and him got into a huge blowout fight.
I mean, Miles Teller's not known to be the most amicable fellow.
Kate Mara was very vocal about how she was treated by him as well, and so yeah, apparently not a great film to support in general.
Yeah, so it kind of worked out that it's not revered. But yeah, the first third I would say is a lot better than the second and third, but it still doesn't, the movie is what it is for a reason, but the first third's not bad.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, let's just finish off here. Coy, you'll be out of here soon. Coy.
Yeah, I'm going right to bed.
Oh my God, Mr. fucking
What is Wham-Off doing?
What are you doing, Wham-Off?
He sent a message.
He's doing the right thing.
He's doing the right thing.
You're doing the right thing.
Wham-Off's doing the right thing.
You're doing the right thing, Chris Wham-Off.
Man. He just got engaged, right?
He got engaged. He's got a Filipino wife.
Dude, he was saying something about it, like he drives, and he was like, he listens to us when he's driving, and like how he was shocked at like, me and John's reaction, and I hope you're not driving now, because holy crap, we appreciate you. That's an insane thing for you to just like chime in and do, man. Like I'm always struck by it. I'm always like, it doesn't matter. The first time, I'm just as blown away this time. So I just want to send some love. Congratulations again. And engagement's a magical thing. I'm a big old sucker for love, man. I think love stories in movies. I think love stories in life. I think finding love the older I get and the more success I find, the more I realize that like sharing love is the success. Like sharing life with someone and sharing passion, and like that's why I'm here, man. Like I'm both here medically because I'm physically capable to share passion, but here emotionally because I think that's what we're alive for. So I think finding someone to share your life with is the coolest thing one can do. So congratulations on engagement, and thank you as ever.
I'm going to be really honest with you guys about something. And Chris, I mean it sincerely of how you have been an inspiration to me. See, when we first started the Patreon a few years ago, it used to be, it was smaller, obviously. And I used to be able, I was in a position where I was able to reply to everyone all the time and have these very long conversations with people. And unfortunately, I don't really have the time for that currently. And there's like so many messages that come in now, which is great. It just took me away from the time. Chris was one of those early people. And Chris is someone who is very charitable, obviously, just through here. But outside of this, he's the kind of person who gets involved in like the protest, the fighting for the good causes, consistently donating money. And he was one of those people that when I would talk to, it always struck a chord with me of something I was not doing enough of in my life. Learning how to give, especially with money, growing up very poor. Sometimes when you grow up with no money, it might make you grow up and go, hey, I want to be someone who gives more. And while I had that in my mind, I actually had a hard time surrendering to that and doing it. And I feel like you can learn any skill, and learning how to give is a skill. Like you could listen to enough audio to understand the benefits of to give, to enter that flow. There's a lot of things you could. Actually, one of my favorite speakers, Les Brown, has a wonderful speech about why you should be giving. And Chris, I've never actually told you this. I remember those conversations very well. And that was the start of me learning how, because I didn't want to admit, like, oh, I'm terrible at like giving money away. Like I really was not good at giving money away. And now I actually love when I can help. And you were one of the catalysts for that, Chris. So that's and that was like a few years ago. So thank you for being in our life. Seriously. Man, I just fed a whole bunch of bullshit.
Just got Chris. I mean, he's like, I just joined this page a year ago. What are you talking about?
I just had to do that.
You got to make sure you put the time in.
Let me see what I could say just to make it sound nice. Here we are.
Thanks, Waymo.
Yeah. All right. Gamer MJ. Greg. Are you and John going to react to any of the Doctor Who spin-offs to the Sarah Jane Adventures as the best ones that could potentially tie into the new season of Doctor Who? That's a big maybe. The show is on Prime, Apple TV, and Roku. Highly recommended. We might do it for Patreon. Maybe not for YouTube, but for Patreon. Could be of interest. I've been loving diving more into the Doctor Who lore, and so it would be fun to actually do that. Doctor Who's cool.
Yeah.
Bryce Rat 1. Thank you so much, Bryce Rat. Greg, I was wondering if we could get a reaction to Terrifier 1 and 2 on the channel. I'm desperate for it. Also, any chance the HSM, the series, or the She-Juck TV series could be Patreon exclusives? Also, any chance of Challengers reaction? Love you guys. Challengers is on the agenda. Challengers is 100% on the agenda. Terrifier 1 and 2, closer to Halloween, closer to the release of Terrifier 3. I definitely want to do them. And the She-Jack show, we'll see how the last movie of Chucky turns out. Enough people watch it, then maybe we'll have them do the show. But that's like 3 seasons of a commitment.
Yeah, that's a while. So we'll tune in. But Devin Saw was great.
At the end of the day, you got to make sure there's some level of profit coming in.
Capitalism. Important.
Yeah. I got to make a 300% profit.
Otherwise, not worth his time. What's he even doing here?
Yeah.
Speaking of time, last one, David.
Shut up, Coy.
What if Rogue had used a power-inhibiting collar to have a relationship with Gambit? It's how X-Men 97 should have ended. I think that the power-inhibiting collars are always tricky to bring into the conversation because it would solve so many problems. It is literally the ghost in the machine. It is a deus ex machina. It is a problem to have that plot element. There is the pride in being a mutant. There's also the side effects. There's also the idea of being trapped, of being lesser. There's the idea of, you don't want to have your oppressors win. I hear you. I think it's important to get some time in with your person. I'm trying to not use any words that'll get this video demonetized. But I agree. That's what they could have done.
I hated the ending of X-Men The Last Stand because of that.
Because it's such a, there's
I was like, this is not a story about acceptance at all.
I hate, you heard my Days of Future Past thing where it's like, mutant and proud, cut to Nick Holt, always as Nick Holt. Yeah. I'm like, all right, so you're so proud you're hiding your mutation?
I especially hated it in X-Men: The Last Stand.
Yeah,
because they even treat it like it's this beautiful moment.
And I'm like, guys, you don't understand your own movie.
I'm like, no,
all those strings swelling.
This is not working for me at all.
No, they don't understand what their message is because they got it wrong.
I thought that was terrible.
But that is a problem in introducing that concept.
Anyway, guys, clearly, I got to get this guy out of here. I want to thank everyone who's been here in the chat. I want to thank everyone who contributed to the Streamlabs Super Chat. Special shout out to Whamma for that massive one.
Thank you, man.
And also Argentina for the 2,000 pesos,
We
baby.
learned so much.
Yeah,
We
that
learned
was
so
great.
much. All the Mary Jane actors are in tennis films, and all the Peter Parker actors are in priest films.
Yeah. But, Coy, I appreciate you.
I did it, man. I told you I would. I said one last ride.
Someone left the chat saying, I can't be here. Greg's humor is not my taste.
Someone was like, I'm going to say something mean on the way out.
Yeah.
I'm going to just close the door.
Greg's humor.
Yeah, they were just here for my sick ass.
And,
I survived.
you survived. You did great, man. You did
know,
great. Everyone give a round of applause for Coy.
I gave you guys the best answers I could in my condition. I'm going to go immediately to bed. I appreciate all of you. I do think it's a matter of now I know how sick I am, so I have to embrace it and get over it. I'll be back next week. I appreciate all of you very much. I'm not contagious, but I feel like I should be in bed. So I'm going to go do that. Follow me on YouTube. Follow me here. Follow me on Instagram. Do the following. Don't follow me in real life unless you want to say hi. That's cool.
Ah, that's a perfect out.
Yeah, what a stream.
Thank you, Coy.
Much love, guys.